he ever, Gary. And I know the Shula family, and he's just aching for that. And if Mike's going to make that happen with this Alabama team, he's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. I think Alabama has the best offensive line I've seen. And if you like knockdown, drag-out, trenches warfare, old-school Southeastern Conference football, you've come to the right place. Right down there between the white lines, there'll be no place for the faint of heart today, David Norrie.
But wait a second, Coach. This is the new millennium. You got to throw the football. This is the new SEC. And I know Alabama fans are still devastated about the loss of Brody Floyd. Great young quarterback. Mark Gillen steps in. This kid has big-time talent. The Miami Hurricanes offered him a scholarship as a sophomore in high school. He could throw the ball. It's a great talent for getting the ball down the field. If he's going to have success this afternoon, and if he's going to have success the rest of the way in the SEC, Alabama's going to have to throw the football.
Well, Alabama is at home for the fourth time in 5 weeks. They're unbeaten at home. They're 3-0 as here comes the Tide onto the field.
Hi, welcome in. Matt Weiner in our ESPN2 college football studio. Lou Holtz has experience on his side for South Carolina. Mike Shula has history on his side. His Tide 10-1 all-time against the 5-30 winner over Arkansas despite giving up 23 straight points. Back to Tuscaloosa. Gary Bender, Bill Curry, and David Norrie.
What a setting for college football. Bryant-Denny Stadium on the campus of the University of Alabama. South Carolina and Alabama ready to square off against each other. Both of them need a win today. You can't afford to have 2 losses in SEC play, and that's what's at stake tonight. Earlier, our 4th member of the team, Alex Flanagan, visited with Coach Mike Shula.
Coach Shula, Mark Gillen gets his 2nd start today. How has he progressed this week?
Well, I think he's, he's more comfortable with what he's been doing, and the experience last week is going to help him, even though obviously we didn't play well enough to win. Another week with the receivers has looked better, the timings look better, and hopefully we see that tonight.
Last week he threw only 18 passes. How much would you like to throw the ball today?
Well, we realize you got to have balance for sure, and we feel like we're a good running football team, so it's a fine line of doing both. But if we're going to win games, our quarterback's got to be a factor, and hopefully we'll have better balance tonight and be more productive.
All right, Coach, good luck.
All right, we're ready to go. Alabama won the toss. They have deferred. And here he is, the old master. He's taken 6 different teams to bowl games. He won a national championship at Notre Dame in 1988. Jamie Christensen will kick off, and this place is alive. I mean, there's some excitement here. Christensen will kick off. Matthew Thomas. Andre Gaz go back deep for Carolina. Lou Holtz trying to revive this football program after having that 2-year success of 17 wins, finishing 5-7 the last 2 years, and he knows how big this game is today. Here we go. We're underway. It's going to be Matthew Thomas, the wide receiver, up to the 10, to the 15, and bounces forward to the 18-yard line. 18-yard kickoff return. And here comes Dontrell Pinkins. He's 7-10 as a career starter. He missed 1 game with a bruised shoulder. He's a 245-pound senior. Really understands the offense. However, he does have hot and cold days throwing the ball. Last year, believe it or not, he threw 99 and 98-yard touchdown passes. Here we go for the 18-yard line. Pinkins will set it up. We had a change. Dacus Turman will be starting in the backfield. We expect to see Demetrius Summers back after missing the last 2 games with a high ankle sprain. And going to keep. And going straight ahead is Pinkins. And here is the Bud Light starting lineup. Let's take a look first offensively. We mentioned Turman. He's in there. Corey Boyd, a very good football player. Troy Williamson leads the nation with a 28.7 average per catch. Up front, they've struggled from time to time, but Jabari Levy, they feel, could be an outstanding player, the junior at left tackle. 2nd down, 7 yards to go from the 20. Demetrius Summers has already come to the football game, and he is a guy who can make a big difference in this game. Here is Turman. Turman across a 20-25. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down. Let's take a look now at the Crimson Tide defense. The defense that up front has Rudy Griffin, transferred from the Citadel. Todd Bates was suspended for 1 year. He is back playing with a vengeance. And the guy you really want to watch is D'Amico Ryans. He is an outstanding player and a straight-A student for the Tide. Roman Harper, he sets the defense in that secondary. And Petra, a former cornerback, now playing strong safety. Third down and 2 now for the Gamecocks. 3 wideouts. Pinkins has got to keep, trying to get the first down, fighting for the stick. I do not think he got it. It's going to bring up the 4th down. That's D'Amico Ryans, the guy we talked about, Bill Curry. He's something special.
D'Amico Ryans just glows on the practice field as a leader. When you speak to Mike Shula, if you bring up Ryan's name, he glows, and you said, I believe he's the most respected player out here. He never says a word. He just makes straight A's and makes tackles all over the field.
Healthy dose of single-wing offense there from Lou Holtz to open up the football game.
And so Josh Brown back to pump the football. Brandon Brooks, who's only 5'4", says let it hit. Get away from it. Alabama may have made contact. I guess not. The ball is going to be dead at the 42. That was a dangerous situation for Alabama.
That was very, very careless. Ezekiel Knight, number 84, had no idea where the football was, and then you're the gunner, you're covering punts. The first thing you do is to locate that ball. It might very easily have touched him, in which case South Carolina would have had possession.
Only a 30-yard punt. Here comes Gillens, 6'3", 215, a sophomore out of Chico, California. First start last week in Arkansas. Feels 10 times better, he said, this week. And according to Mike Shula, he just needs to play. On the 42-yard line, Gillen with a play action. Gonna throw it. He completes it to Keith Brown, the true freshman. And Brown gets to the 45 of USC. That'll be a first down, a 12-yard pickup of the play. Jamasio Jackson on the stop. You can see Ray Hudson. And just remember this name. This guy is really something. He has been on fire. 170 yards rushing last week. Up front, Wesley Brett is one of the best. 3-time All-SEC pick. They moved Tatum from defense to that offensive tackle spot. So on the first play, Gillen getting some confidence with a first down throw to the 12. Mark Gillen back again. Dumps it near side. Hudson with a catch. And Hudson to the 43 of the Gamecocks. And let's take a look at this defense. This is a good defense. Allowing only 9 points a game. George Goss, steady Eddie, they call him. Noah Thompson, a big recruited defensive end. Marcus Lawrence, very quiet, but I tell you, he's a solid football player in the middle. And watch Cole Simpson. He's a true freshman. This guy has been really making an impact in the SEC. Second down now, 7 yards to go. Gillen will send his tight end, Johnston, in motion. On a delayed handoff to Hudson. Hudson has the first down inside the 35-yard line. What a line block that was.
Number 79, Danny Marks. The right guard's coming off and making a nice block on Ricardo Hurley. He throws him off late, but not until Hudson made the first down. I believe Hudson is the most explosive back I've seen this year.
Hudson, senior out of Bonifay, Florida. His dad, preacher, and a terrific young man. We had a chance to talk with him yesterday. Here's a first down carry, and not much going this time for Tim Castile, who is a load. He'll play both the tailback and the fullback position. As Gillen getting a little confidence now, early starting this game.
Nice solid start by Gillen, and the first down pass is really going to be a key. He really looked nice on those first 2 balls, getting the ball outside.
Alabama needs to come out and throw the ball about half the time on the first down and in run-pass situations, and that's exactly what they've begun the game doing.
Gillen, 21 years old, played at Paramount High School in Oakland, followed Ken Dorsey to the Miami of Florida area, and now playing for the Tide. Here's a handoff again to Hudson, and Hudson able to take it to the 27, bring up third down. Let's go to the studio, and here's Matt Ryan.
Gary, Taco Bell takes us to Bloomington, Indiana, where it's been all Wolverines. Chad Henne, the freshman, to Braylon Edwards. Easy, 69 yards. They've since hooked up again. Wolverines on top, 35-7.
Michigan exploding in a hurry. Thank you. As we come to a third down now. 3rd and 4 for Alabama. 2 wideouts. In motion now will come Castile. Gillen back to throw. He's got time over the middle. Intercepted. It's picked up by Coe Simpson, the freshman. He's to the 40, to the 45. Still on his feet. He goes to the Alabama 48-yard line. That's the guy we were talking about. A 35-yard return as Coe Simpson has picked up his 3rd interception of the season. Michigan exploding in a hurry. Thank you. As we come to a third down now. 3rd and 4 for Alabama. 2 wideouts. In motion now will come Castile. Gillen back to throw. He's got time over the middle. Intercepted. It's picked up by Coe Simpson, the freshman. He's to the 40, to the 45. Still on his feet. He goes to the Alabama 48-yard line. That's the guy we were talking about. A 35-yard return as Coe Simpson has picked up his 3rd interception of the season.
Coe Simpson did the same thing to David Green of the University of Georgia, only when he plucked it, he went the distance for the touchdown. And he hung in the middle of the field, Coe Simpson right there, in a sort of a robber kind of a configuration. He came across. Mark Gillen didn't see him. He came from Gillen's reading left to right. Coe Simpson came right to left, and he's what Homer Smith used to call a floater, David.
And so now the Gamecocks trying to capitalize a quick flare pass to Corey Boyd. It hits the ground, and David, let's take a look at the interception.
Well, if Gillen puts a little air under this ball, he has a touchdown. He throws a flat ball, and he has his receiver, Clint Johnston, the big tight end, open down the seam, throws a flat ball. Coe Simpson, a nice read. But if Gillen puts that ball with a little top on it, he has 6.
That was his 2nd interception of the season for Gillen. As we mentioned, Coe Simpson with his 3rd pick. 2nd down now. 10 yards to go. Here's Pinkins pitching back. And this is the guy we've been looking to see. Summers, who's been out the last 2 games. This guy is going to be a big-time running back. Summers takes it inside the 45 to the 44. It'll bring up a 3rd down and still almost 5 yards to go.
But Gary, I have an inside source at South Carolina. My expert scouting service, Alex Hawkins, my old teammate, great football player at South Carolina, great buddy of mine. He said the South Carolina defense is just getting stouter and stouter, and we just saw evidence that the old Hawk still knows a little something about football.
Or as Johnny Unitas used to call him, Whitey.
Well, he got called a lot of things.
Here's Pinkins on the move on a 3rd down, getting rid of it deep. Overthrows his intended receiver inside the 10. And that's the ever-dangerous Troy Williamson, who may be as fast as anybody in college football.
Williamson was open for just a moment or 2 down the sideline, but a great job by Roman Harper. And he's going to be working one-on-one against Ramsey Robinson, but watch Roman Harper over the top. Roman Harper knows that this guy is the most exciting young wide receiver in the SEC, and he kept great depth in the secondary.
I tell you, the guy just runs by people. So after the turnover, the Gamecocks not able to do much with it. Josh Brown back to punt, hit it very high. Drifting over is going to be Brandon Brooks. He's going to let it hit, and they're going to down it inside the 5-yard line. Beautifully done that time. It was down by Tremaine Tyler. Alabama will have the ball.
Do your living on the ground. Do your living on the ground. Do your living on the ground, or make your living in the air. Freestyle air. Make your living in the air.
What will you do in the air? NBA Live 2005 with Freestyle Air. Rated E for everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game.
buddy, ready to go?
The right genes make all the difference. Introducing Genworth Financial, built on GE heritage, now creating our own legacy.
This Wednesday, we're going now, baby, now. They're a dynamic duo.
We gotta play to your strengths. And thinking ain't one of them.
This year's funniest movie.
You know, cops are supposed to talk to each other on stakeouts. It helps the mission go by faster.
Please, shut up.
So are you in the cars or?
Taxi.
All right, you're on. You smell that, lady? Who's that up?
Laughing, you dumbest cop I've ever met.
Rated PG-13. Opens Wednesday in select theaters everywhere Friday.
No score, Alabama, South Carolina. Here's Alex Flanagan visiting with a guy who can't play football. We'll wait until after this first snap. As we mentioned, Gillen getting the starting call. And, you know, you hate to get a starting call because somebody else is hurt. But Alex will have that story in just a moment. From the 4 after a well-placed punt. Here is Hudson trying to bounce outside, and his footing goes down. He got nothing. And now, Alex, take it away.
All right, Gary. Well, Brody, you tore your ACL against Western Carolina. Coach Schuler received a little bit of criticism for leaving you in, even though the team was up 31-0. What do you think?
No, we hadn't done that great against them anyway, and I need to go back in there and have another series. And our first team offense did. It has nothing to do with his call. It's just a fluke thing that happened. It happens in football all the time.
When it happened, what was going through your mind?
I knew it as soon as I'd done it. I did it in high school, and the first thing I told them was, when they came out there, I was like, I tore it. He was like, it's gone. But you go through the mad stage, but once you get over that, you just have to deal with it and move on.
Mark is getting only his second start of his career. How have you helped him?
I'm just, when I was making my first starts, I didn't want anybody in here telling me what to do and, bossing me around. So I've just been here for him. If he wants to ask me a question or anything, I'm here for him. But Mark's a good guy, and, we've been friends ever since he got here. So, Mark's going to be fine, and, our football team's going to be fine.
All right, Brody. Well, we wish you a speedy recovery.
I appreciate it.
Gary, back to you.
You know the family real well, don't you?
Yes, John Croyle is a wonderful man. John Croyle's Ranch for Youth is one of the best things anywhere, particularly in this state. People appreciate him. He was an All-American player, a defensive end for Coach Bryant. There's Big John right there, agonizing with his son yet again, but loyal to his university. What the interception by Coach Simpson did, getting back from the football game, it obviously drastically changed field position. Lou Holtz is over there licking his lips. The South Carolina defense right now, David, needs to get them stopped and make them punt out of the back of the end zone.
Well, they've done an unbelievable job this year. Giving up less than 10 points a game, and they've played some tough opposition. They went on the road, played Vanderbilt, and they played obviously a very tough team in Georgia.
Well, and you think about it, they were out in front of that Georgia team, 16-0.
Yeah.
Well, we had a timeout while Alex was visiting with Brody, and so the time now ready to go on a second down. Let's make it 9 yards to go for the 5. Tyrone Prothro comes in motion, and the throw comes on near side, and it's dropped, and they had some yardage on that one. Ron McClain, the fullback, had some running room had he held on.
Listen, this guy, Mark Gillen, is going to struggle. He's learning to play football in the Southeastern Conference. He needs his teammates desperately to make plays. My thing right here, I would have had Castile in the game at fullback, number 19. He catches everything.
Well, that was a beautiful ball from Mark Gillen.
Yes, it was.
With the exception of the interception, I think he's spinning it pretty well here early in the football game.
McClain, a 258-pound sophomore, got only 2 passes. You mentioned Castile. He is so versatile. Of course, his daddy, the All-America here at Alabama, they use him both with a tailback and a fullback. 3rd down and 9. And they're going to try to get some breathing room as they pound it forward. Ray Hudson, but that's going to be short of the first down. It'll bring up a 4th down. So Mike Shula's team trying to recover from the interception, the guy who beat Lou Holtz when he was a quarterback at Alabama. The only time Alabama has ever beaten Notre Dame, and that was quite a victory at that time.
That's right. And Mike was an outstanding quarterback here, and he was an outstanding scholar. When we got here, our coaching staff in 1987, he had just graduated. He was collecting honors right and left.
Noah Whiteside will go back for this punt from Bo Freeland. Here's Whiteside, exciting sophomore, waiting, makes a fair catch inside the 45-yard line. That's a nice punt, 47 yards. And so USC's got it. We have no score.
ESPN puts the spotlight on the highlight with ESPN 25 The Book, which includes a bonus DVD of classic SportsCenter commercials. ESPN 25 The Book, available now.
Whoa. First prize Bud Light?
Don't even think about it.
All right. Do it for Daddy.
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
I love that dog.
It's all here.
It's a new season, but the dream remains. As this year's finalists face off, see who makes it to the next round and who is sent packing. What does it take to make their SportsCenter dream come true with ESPN's Dream Job? Every Tuesday, 12 midnight, 9 Pacific.
Excuse me? Ah! What are you doing? I noticed you were working late, so I brought you a hamburger. Actually, it's a Wendy's classic double with cheese combo made fresh, with extra pickles the way you like it.
You brought this for me?
Yeah, it's a beauty.
Why are you doing this?
Since Wendy's pickup window is open until midnight or later, you can eat great even late.
Wow. That was a knockout.
Good. Well, there's another light on up there. See ya. I'm okay.
This Friday, gentlemen, it's time. One of the greatest sports stories ever told. Is now one of the greatest sports movies ever made. Friday Night Lights, rated PG-13. ESPN2's College Football Saturday Primetime. Brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
That's Denny Chimes, built in 1929. Every football captain since the 1940s has an impression of their hand and footprints laid at the base, including Ozzie Newsome, Joe Namath, who's in town, by the way, and the head coach, Mike Shula. We have a quarterback change. We expected this very quickly. Savell Newton, the sophomore, comes in as they start the two-quarterback rotation. He gives to Summers. Summers to the 50 in the open field. It's a foot race to the 30, the 25, and knocked down at the 20-yard line. And you can see why they think Summers can be a huge difference in this football game.
Gary, I was chomping at the bit to get a comment in before that play. I wanted to say South Carolina needs to go for something big here. This was not what I had in mind, but it certainly was effective.
Whoa, 38 yards.
That was an excellent job by Jabari Levy, the big left tackle with the cut block. And Summers, clearly the most talented back on this roster when he has his hands on the football.
Sophomore out of Lexington, South Carolina. Double tight ends now for South Carolina after that 38-yard run. First down at the 18. So Newton will give to Summers again. He bounces forward, and he wedges it inside the 15. And let's go to the studio. And once again, here's Matt Weiner.
Thank you, Gary. The BCS champs on the verge of their second loss, and if there are any questions about Georgia's offense, the Bulldogs have answered them today. David Green to Fred Gibson. Green has 4 touchdown passes on this game. Georgia is driving again with a 21-point lead, and they have just scored, in fact, in time running out there in Athens in the third quarter. Florida, big winner today early.
I don't know about you guys, but that's a surprise to me.
Field day for Green to his big wide receivers, Gibson and Brown.
Second down and 4 now for South Carolina. It's going to be Summers again as a dose of Summers inside the 10, very close to the first and goal. Wallace Gilberry over to make the stop for Alabama.
South Carolina's best offensive lineman is Deshaun Goddard, number 70, the right tackle. He's just getting terrific movement. He's just knocking people off the ball. And that's where Summers is running. Right over here. Watch the big guy. Boom, right in the middle of D'Amico Ryans and just still driving him.
Summers, a 205-pounder. He was an SEC all-freshman team pick a year ago. Deshaun Goddard and Lou Holtz said he's playing the best of any in the offensive line coming into the game. Third down and a yard. And this time, Summers is going to be thrown for a loss. Beautiful Beautiful play by Waldrop, the small linebacker. Now, I mean small. He doesn't weigh a lot, but he got back there and made the play to Marcus Waldrop.
Lou Holtz earlier this week said, hey, we need to get positive yardage running the football. When we don't make yards, we've got to eliminate the negative plays. 3rd and short, Holtz has him where he wants him, but Waldrop, tremendous penetration into the backfield, who stones the running back.
Joe Kynes, defensive coordinator for Alabama, said, well, he's a midget, but he just makes plays.
Crowfoot to snap the ball. Josh Brown, who this year is 4 of 6 at a career-long 40-yarder against Troy, and his kick is up, and South Carolina has taken a 3-0 lead. Tonight on ESPN, it's a battle between 2 of the 3 remaining undefeated teams of the SEC as Cadillac Williams and the 9th-ranked Auburn Tigers take on Philip Fulmer and the 8th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers. College football prime time Saturday, also on ESPN at 7:45 Eastern. For more information, log into ESPN.com. You know, these guys have been talking on and on about Eric Ainge in Tennessee.
You look at those 2 quarterback systems, and
well, one of us has been talking. Go ahead, David.
Schaefer is a great quarterback.
Interrupting you talking about Eric Ainge, your favorite subject.
Well, Schaefer is a great quarterback in his own right, and everybody knows about that Tennessee duo, and they've been getting great time, splitting time down at Tennessee. But I will tell you one thing, Bill. I think that Eric Ainge is going to be the #1 pick in the draft, and we've only seen him 3 or 4 games so far, but I have not seen a kid that talented as a true freshman quarterback since John Elway played back in the late 70s.
Come on, David, make a prediction.
Yeah, come on.
The guy's 14 years old, and we just saw Pinkins going to the locker room. So we'll let you know on that as soon as we learn what his problem is. But how old is Ainge? Is he 16?
I know it's just
2 games.
He's just out of the lunch line.
Hey, I know his uncle really well, Danny Ainge. He has the same kind of moxie, you know that?
You know what his statistics are this year? 36 for 56 with 8 touchdown passes.
Well, do y'all have a fan club?
He is from Oregon.
Bowers is kicking off, and going back will be Tyrone Prothro. He's going to bring it up to the 15, to the 20, the 25, to the 31-yard line. And that's where Bama will have it, down 3-0 after that 29-yard field goal. And, you know, guys, you said it well. That interception really changed the complexion of this game.
Changed field position, but what's got to be more disturbing for Alabama, David, is that the way the South Carolina offensive line is just getting a surge, and Rashawn Goddard especially is just knocking them back.
The Gamecocks are doing a great job on 1st and 2nd down, but they've had some 3rd and short situations, and they haven't been able to convert. Alabama's defense has done a good job in 3rd and short, getting the ball and getting that Gamecock offense off the field.
So Mike Shula's team down by a field goal. Will start from the 30-yard line. Gillen back to throws, got good protection. Going deep, Keith Brown, he's there, can't get to him. Just overthrown at the 25-yard line.
That was a beautiful throw, and Brown did not keep his deep speed. Brown is going to reach out and not run through this football. This is a perfectly thrown ball. Watch Keith Brown, fastest receiver on the Alabama roster. And I'll tell you what, I didn't think he kept good deep speed once he got into the secondary, Bill.
There is a skill. You just continue to run full speed. You don't put your hands up until the last moment, and the great ones don't even have to be trained.
I tell you, Gillen needs some support. He's had a couple of balls that should have been caught here tonight.
That's right.
Here's Gillen back to throw, and a short hitch. He completes it. He gets it over to Castile. Castile's forward progress will be marked at the 37-yard line. Coe Simpson, who had the interception earlier with the tackle.
Well, I love Castile as a football player because he does everything well. He's a terrific blocker. He runs well from fullback or from the tailback position. He catches everything. He's the kind of reliable player that's going to have to assist Mark Gillen. He really needs his guys to step up for him.
And so it's going to bring up now 3rd down, still 3. They have 3 wideouts on this set. They move the tight end, Clint Johnston. Gillen on the play action. Over the middle, the screen, complete to Hudson, and it's going to be close. Did he get the first down? There is a flag on the play. A flag on the play. Ricardo Hurley, one of the most heavily recruited linebackers coming out of high school there to make the tackle.
It's going to be Kyle Tatum holding number 58, the right tackle, on Marcus Lawrence. Just had a little takedown there. There's a temptation when you're a big guy. You want to get that linebacker out of the way.
Holding offense.
number 58. The penalty's 10 yards, in the run, repeat, third down.
Well, they had a first down at this state.
And watch Tatum, the big right tackle.
It just went out of the picture. He is there. Yeah, you see the residual effect of the takedown. You just can't do that, Mr. Tatum.
He didn't need the takedown. He had his back had the first down, and I have been really impressed with Gillen early in this football game. He is throwing the ball very athletically. Every ball has been on the money, with the exception of the interception.
We understand that Pinkins had an equipment issue. He's not hurt. There's a bad snap to Gillen. He's going to have to follow on a third down and 13. They don't even get a shot at it. So they're going to have to punt the football away.
Here's the thing about a gun snap. It has to tumble back, and it should not be rocketed back. It should be at the belt level. This goes up shoulder pad height. The quarterback has a very difficult time to catch that football when it's snapped that hard. When you're accustomed to having it tumbled waist high and it's suddenly rocketed, that's on J.B. Klausner. He's got to do a better job. And again, this guy, Gillen, needs a little help from his friends.
Yeah, he's not getting the support he needs, and this is first start at home, and here's the punt by Freeland. Noah Whiteside's going to let this ball hit, go sideways, takes the South Carolina bounce to the 47-yard line. So good field position for the Gamecocks as they have a 3-0 lead. That was only a 31-yard punt.
On the next, I'd do anything. It's a dangerous race to the end zone.
That is a sick joke.
Bring on the bees.
Oh my God. Bugger just got me in the neck.
And soccer goals from 5,000 feet.
That was the scariest feeling I ever had. I was scared like a schoolgirl.
I'd do anything. Tuesday at 10 p.m. on ESPN. Risking it all for someone you love.
Opportunity, Goodwill. Goodwill celebrates 25 years of helping people achieve their full potential through the dignity and power of work.
Over the past 25 years, Goodwill has provided job training and employment to over 35,000 people who are disabled, homeless, and jobless. When you donate and shop at many of our Goodwill stores, we provide needed community services right here in the Lowcountry. As we celebrate 25 years of Goodwill, we just wanted to say thank you.
In 1992, Gary Batts built Heat Wave with a singular purpose: to provide a clean, comfortable exercise facility for those who are uncomfortable in the typical glamour and glitz fitness centers. Built next door to a hospital, Heat Wave delivers a service for those who understand that weight loss is important to their health as well as to their appearance. Located across from Charleston Southern University, Heat Wave is in the Medical Arts Center at Trident Hospital.
So, for stronger bones, stronger muscles, and a stronger heart, come visit Heat Wave Health Club today.
Leads Alabama by 3 points. We talk about Alabama quarterback Mark Gillen needing a little help from his offensive line. On the field, well, off the field, he's got a lot of support from his roommates. Gillen lives with Wesley Britt, Kyle Tatum, and they help him out in a big house, a 6-bedroom house, a little bit off of campus. It has a jacuzzi in the backyard. Youngest Britt brother Justin lives in the dorm. He has a room in the house, as does former Bama player Justin Smiley. Also Taylor Britt, one of the roommates there too. David, you know, you guys up in the booth know that having the help of the offensive line means a lot.
Yeah, and you're jealous, Alex. It was as neat as a pin, which is hard for me to believe. Back to throw now is Newton going deep. The ball at the 5 and broken up. That was a near miss to Williamson. And there's a flag. Ramsey Robinson may be called for interference on the play.
He definitely interfered. And when he did that, he prevented it would have been a touchdown. It was a beautiful throw. It was a great job by Lou Holtz and his play calling to come out here and go for a big one. I felt like South Carolina needed something big to happen early in the game. Well, they did it. But here's the call.
Pass interference against the defense. Number 17. The penalty's 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
This is the second time that they've sent Troy Williamson on a streak down the field. Ball was just slightly underthrown, and you've got to get your eyes back to the football, number one, and you can't make that type of contact on a featured receiver. Easy call for the officiating crew.
What did the quarterbacks tell us? They say they have to lead this guy so far. Williamson will just run the ball down.
The other thing is I wouldn't leave anybody in single coverage on him in this game because he's the main threat.
So the penalty gets him the first down outside the 30-yard line. And here is Summers going airborne, and he is knocked down. Terrific play that time by the middle linebacker, Freddie Roach. Let's go to Matt Weiner in the studio.
Gary, Purdue absolutely put the hammer to Notre Dame in South Bend. Kyle Orton to Taylor Stubblefield, and you were watching the longest play from scrimmage against Notre Dame in Irish football history. 97 yards. Orton had 4 more touchdowns, 41-16.
I'm going to tell you, that Purdue football team's pretty good, aren't they?
Kyle Orton.
They are really good. They're good on defense.
Second down now, virtually 10 yards to go. 3 wideouts, trips formation, top of the field. Here is Newton setting up a screen, trying to get to Summers. That was ill-conceived. In fact, Anthony Madison, a senior out of Thomasville, Alabama, was nearest to the football.
Bill, Newton has a nice throwing arm, and he can really attack the field, down the field, but he's had trouble throwing screen passes early in the season.
He throws the deep ball reasonably well. He throws the intermediate routes well, but you're right, he struggled with the screen, but he reminds me, I think he has the potential to be another Seneca Wallace, the great quarterback at Iowa State a couple of years ago.
In his first start, he threw for 324 yards against South Florida when Pinkins was hurt. Here we go, third down. Alabama may be offside. The flag is out, and they're going to blow the play dead. They were coming on the blitz, Chris Harris, and he just didn't get back in time.
Not a good feeling if you're an Alabama person right now. Too many mistakes on both sides of the ball. Dropped balls. Not much help for the quarterback in the running game.
Offsides, defense, contact. Penalties 5 yards. Repeat, third down.
Chris Harris, the right defensive end, as we look again, watch Pinkins coming back out.
That was an equipment thing, David, with Pinkins. We've been told there was no injuries. He comes back on the field. So the penalty now is going to make it a third down and 5. Pinkins, the senior, who does such a good job of changing the plays, a big leader, now being replaced by Newton, trying to build the South Carolina lead. And he's going to go straight up the middle. And Newton gets inside the 25 to about the 23. It's going to be fourth down. That's Roach again, the middle linebacker.
Wow, he had such a hole open out to the right. Uh-oh, we got a few little fisticuffs down there.
Looks like Robinson and Matthew Thomas. Thomas, the wide receiver for South Carolina.
Well, I told you it wouldn't be a friendly place out on that field, but the little fellas don't need to be cockfighting out there. That's what, let the big guys do all the slugging and kicking. You little guys just go out there and put your hands on your hips and run your routes.
Well, those fights on the outside have been a big story early in the SEC season. That Florida-Tennessee game, the defensive back and the wide receiver tangled up late.
Unsportsmanlike. 15, red, 17, white.
He's got a reverse, but he's right.
Penalties, offset, fourth down.
Ironically, Bill, that should have been the call in that Tennessee-Florida.
Why did I know you were going to say that? How did I know that?
I've been hanging around you guys too much. Scares me a little bit. I'm starting to think like you. But anyway, it's on both guys. He had Thomas. Thomas was the white, and Robinson the red. And so this play will be now fourth down and 2, and here they come. Double tight ends. Newton on the pitch to Boyd, and that may be a first down saving tackle. Great reaction that time by Roman Harper, who came over and cut the legs out from under him. What a play.
Football is a game of angles and leverage. Roman Harper is a marvelous free safety. Having moved from strong safety, he's a good tackler. He understands speed and angles, and he got just the right one for Corey Boyd and managed to get him on the ground.
That is one of the best tackles from the free safety position in a big situation that you'll see all year. It looked like Boyd might have been able to score on that play. What a play by Harper.
Harper, their leading tackler out of Prattville, Alabama, and he is the leader back there. He's like a coach on the field. What a play. So Alabama takes over. They'll have the ball inside their own 25 and in around reverse given to Brown. Brown trying to get wide. He's got the corner. 35-40. You see the speed of this true freshman out of Florida. That's It's a 17-yard burst on the play.
So the story of this game early is the Alabama defense giving up yards on 1st and 2nd down, but making big plays on 3rd and short and 4th and short. And they've done a great job of hanging in this football game, keeping Alabama in the game.
I tell you, this Brown is going to be something special. He's been nicked up a little bit. He is out of Fort Walton Beach, Pensacola High School, and he just went 17 yards on sheer speed. First down now, just across the 40. Gillen on the play action. He's going to dump it up. It's Kenneth Darby. Darby gets to the 44, and he's knocked down. Darby alternating in that tailback spot with Ray Hudson. It was Marcus Lawrence, the middle linebacker, there to make the stop. And we have another penalty. Flag at the 40.
Well, Evan Mathis, number 51, blindsided Darryl Shropshire, and it was very close. It looked like he hit him from the side. We'll take a look in the replay. That seems to be the call by the official, but we'll wait and let him tell us.
Mathis, the senior out of Homewood, Alabama, one of the leaders up front, playing alongside Wesley Britt. So they'll sort it out. Shropshire giving him the option for South Carolina.
Against the offense. Number 74. It was 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
It was not Mathis. So the block Mathis made was legal. The one I saw, apparently J.B. Klausner hit somebody from the rear. I didn't see that.
Shropshire, the guy who's playing with a wrapped hand. I'll tell you what, Alabama's been their own worst enemy in this football game thus far. They're down 3-0. They have the ball at the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 20.
After 31.
Mike Shula, from the great family of Don Shula, said that Dad told him just to be himself and then work hard and believe in what you're doing. On the 1st and 20. Gillen up the field. The catch is made inside the 40. Coming back to the ball is another freshman, DJ Hall, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So we've had a lot of action, not a lot of scoring here in the first 15 minutes. The difference, a 29-yard field goal. As the Tide at home trying somehow to find a way to win this game.
The WNBA playoffs, now playing on ESPN2.
Katie was sure of her cholesterol plan. She took medication, she ate right and ran. Yet it wasn't enough to get bad cholesterol low. What's this? I'm still here in the land of no? Switch to Crestor, her doctor said. You're not to blame. All cholesterol drugs simply aren't the same. When Crestor performed in a head-to-head test, its lowering effect was clearly the best. Crestor's proven effective, that's well understood. Would you like to try it? Why, yes. Yes, I would.
Ask your doctor about Crestor. Crestor is not for everyone, including people with liver disease and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of serious side effects.
Since Katie switched to Crestor, her cholesterol's much less. With Crestor and diet, it's the land of success. Get your free trial today and you just might declare, I'm a Crestor success. Now you're getting somewhere.
Meat sauce, Alfredo. Whoa. 4 cheese marinara. I'll try the whoa.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. Pick one combination of sauce and pasta, then another. Try all you want for just $7.95. Only at Olive Garden.
It's a new season, but the dream remains. As this year's finalists face off, see who makes it to the next round and who is sent packing. What does it take to make their SportsCenter dream come true with ESPN's Dream Job? Every Tuesday at 12 midnight, 9 Pacific.
You want that apple?
No. No, it's Can I have those?
Sure. Thanks. Here you go, man.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Out there.
David Norrie, Bill Curry, Gary Bender, Alex Flanagan. We start the second quarter here from Bryant-Denny Stadium on the campus of the University of Alabama. 2nd and 12 for the Tide, down 3-0. And the handoff comes to Hudson, trying to bounce outside, protecting the ball. Marcus Lawrence already this 5th tack over there to make the stop. It'll bring up a 2nd down, or 3rd down.
There's a bright spot early in this football game for Alabama outside of their 3rd down defense. It's really Mark Gillen. He is throwing the ball exceptionally well as a quarterback. He's 5 for 8. Had a drop from his fullback earlier in the first quarter. But I think he has come into this football game and thrown the ball right on the money.
Well, I guess if another quarterback analyzes it that way, Coach, we got to go along with it. 3rd down now, 7 yards to go.
I agree.
4 wideouts on this play for Gillen. Gillen stepping up, takes a shot, and the ball knocked out at the 50 as they could not make the connection that time. Great pressure coming up the middle. That was Oris Lambert who was in his face that time. Ezekiel Knight, a freshman, tried to make the catch, but he was jarred loose for the ball.
Number 51, Oris Lambert, right in his face. But once again, David, the throw was right where you want it. Right between the 8 and the 4.
That was a huge hit. And Gillen took the hit right on the delivery. And you're right, Bill. He still delivered the ball.
So Freeland back to punt. Noah Whiteside goes back for Carolina. Beautiful punt. He's going to have to call for the fair catch. Backs and makes it at the 10. And so now the Gamecocks with a 3-0 lead after that 46-yard punt. And here's our Yamaha game track. The interception by Cole Simpson. He returned at 35 yards and gave the Gamecocks the field position. Then Demetrius Summers, who's been out the last 2 games, a burst up the middle for 38 yards. And the 29-yard field goal by Josh Brown. And that's where we stand right now at the 14-minute mark of the second quarter.
One thing South Carolina has not exploited, in my opinion, is to attack Charlie Pepper. He's a corner that moved to safety. He's going to be a very good, strong safety, but he's still learning. He has a little trouble on the perimeter. Number 26. Let's look and see if they exploit him a little bit. The other thing's play action against Harper.
So still in at quarterback is Newton trying to scramble around, and he's buying some time. I don't know. That play didn't look good at all as he got out to about the 10-yard line.
It did look like a broken play in the backfield. And, you know, early in this football game, it's very much vintage Lou Holtz. Not a lot has happened score-wise. You have a 3-0 score, but turnovers, field position, taking care of the football. Lou Holtz has done all the little things with his football team, and it is just Lou Holtz personified the way his team has come out and played early in this football game.
I think it's kind of scary if there's Alabama. They haven't really thrown the ball, have no yards, and you know Williamson is lurking. Here now is the fullback, Boyd, who makes the catch, and he makes it to about the 14-yard line, and here's Matt Weiner.
All right, Gary, the highest-rated quarterback in the nation when the weekend began is Cal's Aaron Rodgers, and he's at it again. 3 touchdown passes today, including this one to Chris Mandarino, and the Bears up 35-7, starting the fourth.
Well, I tell you, Cal has been idle for a couple of weeks. And Aaron Rodgers, have you seen him play, David?
Absolutely.
Oh, he is something special. Saw him earlier against Air Force. 5 DBs now for the Tide on a 3rd down and 5. Newton is back, scrambling, trying to get the first down running. Now dumps it to the near side, up and into the Alabama bench. Great pressure that time. Waldrop, who earlier made a big play. And there is a flag.
One of Coach Holtz's complaints with Newton last week was that he didn't know when to get rid of the ball. He ran around too much and didn't make things happen, and then didn't unload the ball and just took sacks. So obviously some coaching has been done in that context.
Offense, number 60. Jones decline. 4th down.
Problems up front with the offensive guards for South Carolina. That was Chris White. The penalties declined, but the guards are struggling in the Carolina offensive scheme.
Both of these offenses are going to struggle some tonight. South Carolina comes into the game giving up 9 points per contest. Alabama only gives up 250 yards per game in total defense.
This is Josh Brown who punt away to the ever-dangerous Brandon Brooks. Brooks back backpedaling inside the 40. He's got it at the 37. Tries to go wide, breaks his tackle, and fights forward. Great effort, but he's still going to be stopped inside the 35. And a 40-yard punt, a -5 return. And Bear Bryant's shadow is everywhere in Tuscaloosa. But since the Bear, which coach has the highest winning percentage? We'll tell you when we come back.
Kodiak 450 automatic 4x4 from Yamaha. Now get a $400 worn winch for just $69.95 on select models.
The infinitely versatile Saturn Vue. It helps you pack everything in. Saturn. People first.
How many days is 3 weeks?
21.
Won't you miss your room?
A little bit.
Won't you miss Rocky?
You know what I'm gonna miss the most?
What?
This face.
Mr. Barker, welcome to Residence Inn.
Residence Inn. All suites with all the comforts.
When you walk into the Paul Bear Bryant Museum, you step into Alabama's golden age when the Bears stalk the sideline. But which Alabama coach has the highest winning percentage since the Bear finished 22 years ago? Here he is, our own Bill Curry, 72%. Congratulations, Bill.
Well, congratulate those players. People like Willie Wyatt and Marco Battle and Lamont Russell. It was such a privilege to coach those guys. Gary Hollingsworth, and then to have Homer Smith and Don Lindsay on the coaching staff along with a lot of other great coaches. It was a wonderful opportunity.
Bill, I have a question. Was that your PR guy or your agent that fit that in there for you?
Here's Hudson. Hudson very close to the first down as he goes across the 40 to the 41 now. You guys both saw Homer Smith. You went to eat with him last night. He came up to see you today.
He did such a marvelous job here and everywhere that he coached. And when you get these guys in the crimson shirts on the field, they are so motivated. They want so much to win that all you got to do is turn them loose and have them properly coached up, and you'll win.
Homer was my offensive coordinator and quarterback coach for 5 years, and really the 5 best years that Terry Donahue had out at UCLA.
So it's going to be second and a yard to go for the Tide after that 9-yard burst. This time the give goes to Castile. He bursts out of there. He's to the 40, to the 30, the 25, and down to the 20-yard line. Cole Simpson, Tremaine Tyler caught up with him, and Tim Castile, the sophomore from Birmingham, just took it 39 yards.
This was so beautifully blocked. That right side of the Alabama offensive line, and the big guys are starting to take a toll now. Boom! Look at their smash in the hole coming up in there. Couldn't see who it was. It was a marvelous block. Probably that was Clint Johnston, number 88, a tight end, pulling around up inside on the inside backer. Lord, what a nice job.
So Alabama now resides at the South Carolina 20-yard line. 11 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Hand to Hudson. Hudson going straight ahead. Boy, he runs tough. 170 yards last week, averaging almost 8 yards to carry. George Goss on the stop.
Mike Shula has such a great luxury in being able to be versatile at the running back position. You got Ray Hudson, really a home run threat back every time he touches a football. But on that prior play, when Castile broke it down the field, they line up with 2 fullbacks, McClain and Castile, and they really give you a different look.
Here they are again. I wouldn't have a 3rd and 3 or less without these two guys in the game, I tell you.
Double tight ends, David Cavan and Clint Johnston in now for the Tide. Gilliam, the play action, stepping up, throwing end zone, and nobody's there, almost picked off. That was a near interception by Fred Bennett, the quarterback for South Carolina.
Gillen was looking for Clint Johnston again, and Clint Johnston broke off his route. He was running a corner route, and Gillen has to feel this and just throw it away. He keeps this ball in play and just gets the football back. Almost got a pick there in the end zone. As a quarterback, when you feel that tight end breaking off his route, just get rid of the football out of the back of the end zone.
Fred Bennett had an interception last game against Troy. 3rd down now, 7. Trying to capitalize on this 39-yard run earlier by Castile. It's Hudson with the ball. Hudson not going to get the first down as Rodriguez Wilson, the senior out across South Carolina, was there to stop him.
We visited with Hudson yesterday, and he talked about this South Carolina defense and how hard they came downfield on you from the linebacker positions. They really come up and play the run, Bill.
They've done a wonderful job, and they've contained him for the most part. He popped one 10 or 12-yard run, and that's it. But he looks like he's going to go the distance every time he touches it.
This is a 29-yard field goal attempt. Brian Bostic, who was 4 of 4. He's made all 22 kicks. Field goals and PATs. Out of the hold of Alec Fox. The kick is on the way, and we have a tie game. Both teams now with 29-yard field goals. We're deadlocked at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Major League Baseball's Division Series begins Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
It's beautiful.
Life can change rather quickly. Only Saturn lets you exchange any new car for another within 30 days. Saturn. People first.
Meat sauce, Alfredo. How do I choose from all these amazing sauces?
One by one.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl with new sauces like roasted garlic Alfredo. Pick one sauce and pasta combination, then another. Try them all for just $7.95 at Olive Garden.
Drinks before lunch?
Water's fine for me. Water for me too, but with lemon, please.
I'll have a Sam Adams, please.
Make that 2 Sam Adams. Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
Wallace is going to push it himself. Drives the lane. Takes it strong to the hole. This is shaping up to be a blowout. The #1 rated NBA game that IGN calls the most complete hoops game on the market. Now with Next Movement technology. ESPN NBA 2K5 from ESPN Video Games.
It's going to be huge.
Rated E for everyone. ESPN2's College Football Saturday Primetime. Brought to you by Saturn. People first.
Well, we have a tie game at the 9:31 mark of the second quarter. Both teams with 29-yard field goals. Kicking off the guy who was at the prep school, the Naval Academy, Jamie Christensen out of Norcross, Georgia. He will kick off. Back deep as Matthew Thomas and Andre Gaz, and we're back into action. Beautifully kicked. Thomas goes back, and I think he's going to go to a knee, and he does. Let's go down to Alex Lerner. Alex?
Well, Gary, not only do Savell Newton and Dondrell Pinkins get along, they actually, Dondrell calls Savell his little brother. He's his little brother through a program that Lou Holtz set up called the Big Brother program. The Big Brother, being Dondrell, shows Savell around campus and kind of takes care of him when he's a freshman, kind of answers questions for him and is just there for him. Now, of the rotating quarterback situation, Savell says, hey, Dondrell is the senior. He says, I kind of liken it to going on a long road trip where you have a backup driver, and I'm the backup driver. Not a bad backup driver, Gary.
Well, I think you're right. Now, they've gone back to Dondrell Pinkins, who started the game. He comes back in at quarterback at the 20-yard line, and he gives up, and this is going to be Summers. Summers shut down as now Alabama adjusting a little bit to him. Charlie Pepper, the strong safety, over to make the stop.
Charlie Pepper struggled with those very plays just like that a week ago against Arkansas, and this time he took a more intelligent angle. And what that means is Joe Kynes and his defensive staff have been coaching this strong safety position with Charlie. Did a nice job and got a good back on the ground in the open field.
Charlie moved over from the cornerback spot to play the strong safety spot. Double tight ends, 2nd and 9. Pinkins on the half roll. Up the field, tried to hit his tight end, Andy Boyd, and he really took a shot from Pepper. And let's go back to Matt Weiner.
Hi, Gary. This is a route nobody saw coming between the hedges. Georgia all over LSU. Thomas Brown breaks it outside left down the sideline. 46 yards he'll go. Eventually, he would punch it in as well. Georgia up by 35 in the fourth quarter. Miami's just wrapped up their win over Georgia Tech. Michigan a big winner at Indiana.
So here we go to a 3rd and 9. You know, the two teams combined are 0 for 10 on third downs. Wow. And here's a 3rd and 9. And they're going to call a timeout. The play clock was running down, and Pinkins looked up, saw 2 seconds left on it, and had to use it. And so Lou Holtz looks like he's not happy about that at all. He says, "What are you doing?" We'll be back. We're all tied at 3.
The Saturn Ion with dent-resistant side panels. Saturn. People first.
For years, they were in their prime, keeping children safe and getting them home. Until axles sagged and engines slowed. Luckily for us, there's a retirement plan. South Carolina Education Lottery funds have paid for over 250 new school buses. The South Carolina Education Lottery. Results in the right direction.
Brent Buy and Trade at Game Rush, the mecca of the serious gamers.
Game Rush at Blockbuster.
Feel the rush.
Kick off your Sunday with the NFL Countdown team.
The passing game is an art form. He's not under the salary cap.
Behind the scenes.
You guys cue it up on NFL Countdown.
Inside the playbook.
Oh, this is wide open.
On top of everything that's going on in the NFL.
We're tied at 3 now, Bill and David. What do you think Lou Holtz was saying in this discussion?
Well, I asked a friend who played for Woody Hayes one time, how would you describe Woody? He said, I would say he had an arresting personality. Dondrail's been arrested.
3rd down now and 9 after the timeout. Pinkins releases with a bullet to Matthew Thomas, and that gets him out of a big hole on a 3rd and 9, a first down catch, a 17-yard pickup on the play.
Now, this is a nice job by Pinkins staying alive in the pocket. He doesn't have a lot downfield in the way of open receivers, but he's going to step up into the void in the pocket and then takes a huge hit on the release from Wallace Gilberry. That's just great poise to wait, step up into the pocket, and then find Thomas in a little seam over the middle.
Thomas had a 30-yard touchdown catch last week against Troy. So the 17-yard pickup sets it up first down at the 38. This time he's able to wedge it forward. Pinkins, a big 245-pounder.
Gary, I should add that one of Lou Holtz's first jobs was as a secondary coach for guess who? Woody Hayes. So he got this training honestly.
didn't cost him anything extra, right?
He's not going to let things just sort of fester.
I liken playing quarterback to Lou Holtz to playing basketball for Bobby Knight. You know coming in that you're going to get coached hard.
Bob Knight was there at the same time. This friend of mine, Dick LeBeau, who's now defensive coordinator for the Steelers at Ohio State.
I think Bobby Knight's a lot more scary, though. Here's a pass complete to the fullback, and that is Corey Boyd, and Boyd gets some running room, and he's got a first down. Boyd got outside, 15-yard pickup. There is a penalty flag.
A couple penalty flags, and that might have been a late hit.
Nice job by number 1, Noah Whiteside, a little fella, blocking on a linebacker, DeMarcus Waldrop. Just got up in his numbers. Let's see what the flag is.
Dead ball, personal foul against the defense, number 41. Penalties 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Well, that's Roman Harper, the leader in that secondary with a late hit. There's Harper.
Usually Dondrell Pinkins is the quarterback that likes to run the football more, but his passing skills have gotten the South Carolina Gamecocks on the move, and Harper, if Harper holds off there, he's okay, but you don't throw the ball carrier to the ground 2 yards out of bounds. That's not a smart play by the all-SEC free safety.
Alabama has 5 penalties for 54 yards. South Carolina has not been penalized at all. First down now. 27-yard line of the Tide. Here is Pinkins on the option. He keeps it, and he's able to negotiate the 25-yard line. And be sure to join us tomorrow night for ESPN Sunday Night Football. Marshall Faulk and the high-powered Rams head to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Their new quarterback, Ken Dorsey. Coverage begins with NFL Prime Time, presented by Miller Lite at 7:30 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. I'll tell you what, Marshall Faulk hasn't been getting the football very much, and he made a comment this week that they need to get it to him.
Well, I think I would hand it to Marshall as many times as he wanted it.
Second down and 8 now, and we have movement. We're going to have a penalty flag. A lot of laundry coming out. 3 flags, in fact.
That was Anthony Bryant, defensive tackle number 97, and the quarterbacks for South Carolina are doing a nice job with their cadence. That's the second time early in this football game that South Carolina quarterbacks have lured defensive linemen into the neutral zone.
Well, they spent all afternoon Thursday.
Dead ball, all sides against the defense, number 97. We had contact. Penalties 5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
Defensive linemen lined up with their coaches. See there, Anthony's only squat 755. He's a strong young man, but they worked much of Thursday afternoon on watching the football and not responding to noise.
And keep in mind, the quarterbacks have been working from the shotgun some. They're going under center here, but they've been luring them into the neutral zone from the shotgun.
You know, Bryant can also dunk a basketball. Here's a handoff straight ahead, and they've got a first down as they just moved the pile forward that time. That was Summers. Boy, this Summers has really given them a new dimension. Terrence Jones, Justin Britt on the stop.
And when you have the threat of a quarterback running, plan plays for the quarterback to run, you pick up an extra blocker, and that's very tough on a defense. Lou Holtz doing a masterful job of running between the tackles early in this football game.
So the change to Pinkins has really jump-started this offense. They have a first down. They have the ball at the 17-yard line of Alabama. Approaching 6 minutes to go in the first half. Double tight end to Lyman. Hand off to Summers. Nice cutback, and he lunges forward. Now, that wasn't a big gainer, but that was an impressive run by Summers. As he gets the ball close to the 10-yard line, Pepra made the stop.
It was a nice run, but it was an even better block by Nashawn Goddard, number 70. He's going to pull from his right tackle spot and lead up in here. Summers is going to get in behind him. Look at number 70. Clears the hole. Using Roman Harper like he was a pinball.
There's Goddard out of Dayton, Ohio, a 305 pounds, 6'6" right offensive tackle. 2nd and 5. Looks like Pinkins is changing the play. 2 receivers to Summers and no place to go. Alabama responding very well, especially Waldrop. We called his name a lot. He's only a 200-pounder, a freshman, a redshirt. At the linebacker spot.
Conservative football by Lou Holtz. He's not only working away at the belly of that Alabama defense, pounding between the tackles, but Lou Holtz keeps his mind on the clock as well, and he likes to keep that defense on the sideline, likes to keep them rested. The his conservative style of football.
So we have now a 3rd down and 4. Just outside the 10. Big play in this football game. Whiteside is split to the near side. 5 defensive backs for Alabama. From the shotgun, Pinkett setting up a screen. Boyd almost made a one-handed catch. That would have been a remarkable catch by Corey Boyd out of Orange, New Jersey. Freddie Roach, the linebacker, getting in the face of Pinkett.
Freddie Roach, as Joe Kynes told us about this day before yesterday, Freddie Roach is lined up at left defensive end. He's coming off the left side of your screen, number 8. He's normally a middle linebacker. He beat Brian Brownlee, number 39, a tight end, trying to protect on him and force the errant throw.
And Boyd has shown an ability to make that catch early in the season. He's made a couple acrobatic catches early in the season for South Carolina. If Pinkins gives him a little bit better ball, he scores there.
He's made a 29-yarder. Josh Brown adds this is a 28-yarder for the lead. Out of the hold of Joey Bowers, the kick is up, and Carolina has the lead for the second time. 6-3. Well, this is quite a tradition. And as you would expect, we have had some outstanding hits.
Remember that guy who used to be called Wild Thing? The guy who wanted to spend the entire honeymoon indoors? Remember the one who couldn't resist a little mischief? Yeah, that guy. He's back. Viagra. Not all medications are for everyone. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
There he is right there.
Got him. Come here. It crashed again.
Reboot with F8 in safe mode.
Hostile target tracking southeast 270 for 50.
This guy's about to find out what it's like to win a college bowl game. Now he's about to find out what it's like to win 5 college bowl games all at once. Enter to win Cooper Tire's Ultimate Bowl Tour, and you and 3 friends could be headed to 5 bowl games in 1 week. Go to a Cooper dealer near you or visit ultimatebowltour.com to enter. And who knows, this could be you.
Well, it's a battle of field goals as Brown with his second field goal of the game. Josh Brown has now given Carolina another lead. And I guess if you're Mike Shula, you got to say, hey, we haven't played very well, and we're only down by 3.
That's right, but the flip side of that, Gary, is you got Lou Holtz on the other sideline, and you're letting them hang around. You should have scored more points. You've made a lot of mistakes, too many penalties. You let Lou Holtz hang around, you get beat.
You just know that Lou Holtz loves a 6-3 game.
Yes, he does. This is his kind of deal.
Pro throw, and Brooks go back for this kickoff from Joey Bowers. Takes a wicked hop, and they're going to set down on the knee and bring it out to the 20-yard line. Well, we mentioned Mike Shula, October 4th, 1986, Legion Field. Mike Shula hit split in Albert Bell for a 52-yard touchdown strike. And then, now the Alabama coach, the southpaw, comes back and hits tight end Howard Cross for a touchdown. Alabama beats Notre Dame 28-10. Alabama's first win ever over Notre Dame. And, of course, Mike Shula would like now to win as a coach against Lou Holtz.
Career against Alabama, Lou Holtz 2-3. And I remember Mike Shula. I started at UCLA in '85. The year before, Mike Shula 9-2-1 with that team, and he led the country in passing efficiency for most of the season.
So Alabama will start for the 20. Gillen rolls out, and he hits his tight end. That's Clint Johnston. Johnston, a big, rugged guy who's played hurt so much, now healthy. The junior makes a 13-yard catch on the play.
Yeah, but he double clutched it. He even made that he just put the excitement back in the naked boot when the tight end double clutches it. When are they going to just look one in and catch it normally?
They are.
Somebody other than Castile.
They are getting beat up by the football a little bit out there, but I still like the way Gillen's looking, and I think think that the way to protect this young quarterback is to throw on some first and second downs, run situations.
First down out to 33, 3:52 left in this first half. Gillen on a delayed handoff. It's Darby. Darby to the 40 and shut down at the 41-yard line. Tonight on ESPN, it's a battle between two of the three remaining undefeated teams in the SEC. Carnell, Cadillac, Williams, and the 9th-ranked Auburn Tigers take on Philip Fulmer and the 8th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers. What a game that should be. College football prime time Saturday on ESPN at 7:45 Eastern. Again, for more information, log on to ESPN.com. You can see the leading rushers in the SEC. This conference does have a few running backs, don't they?
Oh, I think better this year than ever.
And here's Darby on a 2nd and 2, and that's a first down and then some. He crosses the midfield stripe. Rodriguez Wilson over to make the stop. And you said this yesterday, Bill. When you start running Hudson and Darby at you, those guys start to wear down defensively.
That's what you want to do. You just want to grind down the defense no matter who you're playing, but especially this South Carolina bunch has been so gritty under Rick Mentor, and they do have such a variety of weapons. Hudson's over here resting right now.
So Darby with that run picks up the first down just inside the South Carolina end of the field. They send McLean, the big fullback, in motion. They give to Darby. Darby bounces it to the 47, a gain of 2. Darby, a sophomore out of Huntsville, Alabama, waited his chance to play. Sean Williams was the running back a year ago that got most of the work.
And then a lot of people say, hey, the way Hudson's running the football, Darby's made early in the season. Where was Hudson a year ago? And Hudson fumbled the ball some early in the season. It gave Sean Williams the opportunity to crack that #1 slot of tailback, and the rest is history.
And Williams now with the Buffalo Bills. He's signed as a free agent. Here's Gillen back. Setting up, deep drop, near side, wide open, a catch is made. Open field move this time by Hudson, and Hudson's got a first down. They have it at the 35, picked up 10 on the play.
Nice patience by Gillen to look down the field, come to his back as a secondary receiver, keep the chains moving.
Exactly, and his teammates are beginning to respond by making catches for him, and the big guys are starting to knock some holes. Now we see if Alabama can achieve offensive consistency for a drive.
I'm in at 43 now as they have a first down. It's Castile this time in motion for Gillen. Gillen with a nice play action, setting up, going deep, ball up, Cadell, Matt Cadell, did he catch it in the field of play? No, he was out of bounds. Matt Cadell, a redshirt freshman, that was a near miss.
That was an out and up. That was a deep out, and it was designed for Cadell to turn it up. He runs the out, pump fake from Gillen, and then he turns it up the sideline. And as a quarterback, you've got to keep the football in bounds. If Gillen keeps him in bounds, that's a touchdown.
Stops the clock with 1:28, brings up now 2nd down 10 at the 36 of South Carolina. Alabama down by 3. The steal again goes in motion. Gillen gives Hudson time to go wide. He's to the 30, the 25, he's to the 20, and fights his way down to the 16-yard line. First down, and let's go to Matt Weiner.
All right, Garrett, coming up at halftime, an SEC shocker in Athens as the BCS champions get bushwhacked between the hedges. A little revenge for the Hokies at Virginia Tech as they take care of the Big East best team, plus maybe the performance of the day from Purdue getting all over the Golden Gophers. All coming up at halftime.
Okay, that Virginia Tech team, they're a gritty team, aren't they? They are always tough to beat in Blacksburg.
Beamer ball.
Had USC on the ropes in that opener.
First down now, and a delayed handoff. The ball is fumbled by Hudson, but he got it back. Boy, I tell you, that was a dangerous play.
Well, it's a forward pass.
Yeah, it's
on the ground. It's just an incomplete pass.
It was a shovel pass, and so it is an incomplete pass. But so all of a sudden now, the clock becoming a big issue here. 58 seconds left in the half. And it's going to be at the 17-yard line, 2nd down 10.
Plenty of time, though. 2nd down and 10. You've got 58 seconds, 2 timeouts. If Gillen works the clock properly, he has plenty of time for a touchdown with a field goal in his hip pocket.
He's going to give off to Hudson. Big stick that time. Oh, what a tackle by Dowdy. You don't hear a lot about this guy, but boy, did he make a big play there. That is Stanley Dowdy, a redshirt freshman.
Just looks like there was a bust by the offensive line. Yep, he was supposed to be secured by the right guard, Danny Marks. And Marks simply slipped off and allowed him to come clean. You don't want that guy hitting your back in the backfield. A lot of times the ball flies up in the air.
Alabama now has one timeout left as they stop the clock with 32 seconds. And Dowdy is excited.
More student athletes.
The most.
More student athletes. Selected academic All-American.
More student athletes.
The most. More student athletes.
Are winning.
Are winning in the classroom.
Winning. Where it counts the most.
Oh, yeah. We got him now.
USC.
Feeling good.
Flagship University. Rhodes Scholars. 55 National Merit Scholars. Nanoscience. Fuel Cell Research. Phi Beta Kappa and Honors College. Over 300 majors. #1 in international business. Carolina. USC. Ow! Gamecocks.
Dude, your sister's awesome.
Alabama down by 3, had to use their second timeout. 32 seconds left in the half. Dowdy with a big defensive stop just a moment ago for South Carolina.
It was an extreme stunt. He lined up in a one technique inside the guard and leaps all the way to the outside shoulder. Marks left him, the right guard. He departed, went on up to the linebacker, and nobody else touched him.
3rd and 12 after the play by Dowdy. Mark Gillen on the play action. Looking into the corner. Ball is there. Keith Brown can't hang on. He was out of bounds maybe anyway, and Brown shaken up. This guy has been nicked. He is one of those guys who's an immense talent. You hope that's not a serious injury.
Gillen had him in the end zone. Gillen's got to get that ball up just a split second sooner. That's the second time he's had a wide receiver open for a touchdown, doesn't get the ball up quick enough, and leads his wide receiver out of bounds. This is a post corner route. Ball's thrown well. Boy, that is dangerous, how close that wall is down in the end zone.
Well, you look now, they're going to have to, with 25 seconds left, kick the field goal as we'll get an update on Keith Brown. We will not try to in any way guess as to the extent of the injury, but Brown, I don't think, even had he caught on, he went in the field of play. I think he was out of the end zone.
Oh, that is so dangerous, and there's a number of stadiums across the country where you have that wall close in the corner. I remember playing out at UCLA, the Rose Bowl, and the corners were even closer than here in Tuscaloosa, and that is a dangerous play.
So they're going to have to settle for the field goal to bring Bostic in to try to tie it up. You can see what David was talking about, how close the wall is, and with the momentum. And Brown's a big guy, 6'3", and ran out of real estate in a hurry.
He was doing his best to get that foot in bounds and make the catch, and it's great effort in the corner for his quarterback.
And bear in mind, too, that he's a true freshman, so this is all brand new to him. When you got a true freshman playing at this level with the finest athletes in the world in this sport, then everything is new. Every experience, every attempt to make your job, to get your job done, is brand new to you.
You see the players very concerned. They're going to bring in the cart. We're going to take a break. 25 seconds left in the half for Gillen and Alabama. This is Marty Reed at Route 66 Raceway. We had to go off the air before we completed funny car qualifying, and we can tell you it is another record setter in the making because John Force, his #1 qualifier, runs a 4.697 elapsed time, 332 miles an hour. No one's ever done it. There are the matchups. John Force, Tony Pedregon, Cruz Pedregon, and Gary Denham have lane choice. There, you see the matchups on the other side. Our coverage tomorrow at Sunday at 8 Eastern, and at noon we'll show the run on NHRA Today.
Well, we have a delay right now, an anxious moment for everyone here as Keith Brown, the freshman out of Fort Walton Beach, Florida, out of Pensacola High School, the true freshman, so gifted, tried to make that catch, and right now they're being very cautious with him. They're holding up play with 25 seconds left to go in this first half. To come back, Alabama will be attempting a field goal. Tonight on ESPN, it's a battle between two of the three remaining unbeaten teams, and I tell you what, all day long today, I heard about this Eric Ainge and the 6'6" quarterback, and so his Tennessee Volunteers will be playing host to Auburn. That's coming up at 7:45, and let's go back to Matt Weiner.
All right, we'll get you back to Tuscaloosa in just a moment when play resumes. In the meantime, let's get you caught up on what's going on around the SEC. A shocker in Athens, Georgia, between two of the powerhouses of the conference, BCS champs LSU, between the hedges to take on the Bulldogs. Many have questioned Georgia's offense, particularly in the red zone, where they've struggled to put touchdowns into the end zone. That was not a trouble for Mark Richt's team today. Second quarter, David Green to Fred Gibson, just getting started. 2-yard touchdown, 17-0 Dogs. Green looking for Reggie Brown this time. Nicely thrown ball, nice catch as well. Brown has a touchdown. Georgia up 24-0. Watch it again. Nifty grab from Brown over his shoulder, twisting as he caught it. Third quarter, Green to Gibson. Second time they hooked up. Georgia up 31-10. Green with a school record, 5 touchdown passes without an interception. He also ties the school record for career wins with 36. Reggie Brown, a couple of touchdown catches. Ad had Gibson and Georgia all over LSU. Arkansas and Florida Field. Gators' Chris Leak would have a career day. Second quarter, Andre Caldwell, the double reverse. Caldwell slips through a couple of defenders. He's going to go 61 yards for the score. Gators up 14-0. Late first half. Gators looking for more. Chris Leak to Jamel Cornelius. Got him, 48 yards. Florida up by 28 at the half, but back come the Hogs. 23 unanswered points in the second half. Down by 16, it's Matt Jones, who became Arkansas's all-time total offense leader in this game. Finds Marcus Monk for the touchdown. 2-point conversion is good. They cut the lead to 8. Arkansas gets the ball back. Jones, though, picked off by Channing Crowder. And Florida would score in the possession to put Arkansas away. The final 45-30. Leak with a career-high 322 yards. Matt Jones against the all-time Arkansas leader, passing Clint Sterner on the Hogs all-time list. ACC ball, Wake Forest and NC State. Third quarter, Wolfpack down 14-0. Jay Davis, 57 yards to Sterling Hicks. Look at the patience on Hicks down the sideline. Pauses, and finds his way into the end zone. Nifty footwork for him. Wolfpack up 14-7. Third quarter. 3rd and 32 for NC State. Davis to Tremaine Hall. Gets the first down. Gets a little more. Led to a T.A. McClendon touchdown run. Ties it up at 14. In the fourth, 21 all. John Delaney, 27 yards. Pushed it. Game tied at 21. We head to overtime. Matt Wisnowski, 35-yard attempt for Wake. Dink off the left upright. Remember, NC State escaped last week against Virginia Tech when the Hokies missed a field goal. They get a chance to win it in their possession in the overtime, and McClendon takes care of it on 3rd and 5 with a 10-yard touchdown run to put it away for NC State. They hang on to win it. 3-1 on the season. 27-21 is the final there. Still waiting on the injured player to get back up in Tuscaloosa. I understand now we're about to resume play. Let's go back to Gary Bender at Alabama.
Matt, thank you very much. We're still waiting on the removal of Keith Brown, who sustained the injury. They're being very cautious. The players have gathered for both teams, praying down on a knee, just broke just a moment ago. And this is the sobering part. There they are. Look, you can see Wesley Britt, number 70, one of the big leaders of this football team, the senior out of McCallum, Alabama. And I tell you guys, we've been around this game a long time, but this always makes it very sober, doesn't it?
Puts it in perspective and reminds you that football is the ultimate team sport, and the guys really do love each other, and it's hard to explain if you've never been in that huddle, and that's your brother down on the field, so we just have to hope he's okay.
That's what he is, a brother. You can see Carolina concerned as well. We'll be back to pick up the play after this break.
You can turn your master bath into a masterpiece. The Home Depot can show you how, with elegant designs for your bath you won't find anywhere else. We'll help you freshen up with a style that's distinctively yours. All the best brands are here, and no one beats our prices. Right now, get a $50 gift card with any Kohler purchase of $350 or more. Create a personal private retreat. You can. Only at the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
What will you do in the air? NBA Live 2005 with Freestyle Air. Rated E for everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Glenn's the man going to work. Got his tie, got ambition. He knows one day he just could become supervisor.
Starbucks Double Shot Espresso drink. Bring on the day.
We come back now as Brown has been taken inside, and we'll get an update. We'll let you know as soon as we know what's going on. Alex Fleming was down there. We understand that Keith Brown's mother was in the near vicinity. This is going to be now a 36-yard field goal attempt.
This is a very difficult angle for a right-footed kicker, kicking off the right hash. This is historically the most, I should say, the least frequently made field goal by right-footed kickers, just because of the difficulty of the angle. They tend to either push it to the right beyond the upright or pull it.
So he's going for the tie here with 25 seconds left in the first half. Bostic earlier able to kick the 29-yarder out of the hold of Alec Fox. Snap is very good. Here's the boot on the way, and the kick is no good. You called it, Bill.
It's just tough.
Let's go down to Alex and see what she knows about Keith Brown.
Well, Gary, we don't know what the injury is yet, but we did see Keith. He was being strapped to the backboard. They didn't take his helmet off. They actually took masking tape and taped his entire helmet and head to the backboard. The good news is that he is conscious. His mother was by his side. He yelled out, "Mama." She told him, "Keith, I'm here, baby. I love you." As he was being taken out of the stands here, the crowd went crazy. He held up his finger and kind of waved it, held up that index finger saying number 1, Gary.
You know, that is significant. That is very significant.
That just makes you, just so encouraged to see him motion like that as he was wheeled off the field.
So Carolina still with a 3-point lead as we come to the waning seconds of this first half, and they wedge it out to the 21-yard line. So it hasn't been an offensive explosion here.
No, two really hard-nosed defenses and a cagey old football coach having his way.
So we're going to go to the ESPN College Game Day halftime report. 6-3 Carolina. Here's Matt Weiner.
All right, Garrett, thanks very much as we welcome you into the College Game Day.
It's halftime here at Bryant-Denny Stadium with David Norrie, Bill Curry, and Alex Flanagan. I'm Gary Bender. Not a lot of offense. Neither team, Bill, could convert on third down.
No, the defense has been dominant. One time, 1 out of 13 attempts, and that was South Carolina, 1 out of 7. Alabama 0 for 6 on third down conversion attempts.
And Lou Holtz's team throwing for only 37 yards, but you kind of grinned when I said you've seen that before with him.
Well, you said, who's ever been ahead with 37 yards? And I said, Lou Holtz.
So here it all started. Coe Simpson with the interception to start this game. He returned it for 35 yards, setting up a 29-yard field goal. But the thing that's really hurt Alabama is the penalties. 6 penalties for 59 yards. On the other hand, South Carolina did not commit one. And then Gillum to Brown. Brown couldn't quite get there, and there's been some real missed opportunities by the Tide. So we're ready to go now as they'll start from the 20-yard line. Gillen giving off to Hudson, and he is shut down. And you guys are saying to me, this is where Lou Holtz loves to get the game. I mean, he's just where he wants to be.
Well, in the first half, Alabama runs the ball better. They pass the ball better. They have more yards in both departments. Yet Lou Holtz, the turnover down in the red zone. And then Mark Gillen has had trouble. He's been passing the ball well between the 20s, but when he's gotten down in the red zone, he hasn't converted to several open receivers in the end zone.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11 now for the Tide. South Carolina trying to win their 3rd straight game. Here's Gillen back. He throws it to Prothro. Prothro up to the 25. Spins his way to the 28-yard line. 2 yards short of the first down. Here's Alex Flanagan. She'll have an update on Keith Brown.
Well, Gary, you remember with 25 seconds left in the first half, Keith Brown tried to make a pass in the end zone. When he hit the wall, kind of the state fence there, and crumpled to the ground, he had limited movement. He was carried off in a stretcher, taken to the hospital. That's all we know about his condition right now, but I did talk to Coach Mike Shula during the half. He said that he was able to grip things with his hand and that he had limited movement in his legs, which is a great sign again. Shula said that he told his team during the half, hey, all we can do is hope and pray. We've got to go out now and somebody's got to step up and fill in for Keith.
All right, Alex, very well done. On a 3rd and 3, they're very close to the first down. The catch is made by Hudson. Now, where are they going to mark this? They needed to get just about to the 30-yard line. Let's see where they'll spot it. Ricardo Hurley over there to make the tackle.
I don't think they got it.
They're short.
Coming out here in the 3rd quarter, Alabama on offense must get the ball in the hands of Ray Hudson. Must use the weapon that they have in Castile, who's so versatile, and let the big guy McLean be a lead blocker for them.
Noah Whiteside will go back, the sophomore out of Greenville, South Carolina. Freeland with the punt. Doesn't turn over, and it's not a good punt. It goes sideways, and I'll tell you, South Carolina is going to get the ball at the 43-yard line. That's a great way to start your second half.
Well, everything that's going on here is the kind of thing that Lou Holtz really likes. Keep the game close. I mean, even if he were not ahead, you're playing into his hands because he understands the odds and he knows what to do in these situations.
The way you take it out of Lou Holtz's hands, though, is you threaten the field with the pass, and I think Gillen's got to get the ball to the 2nd and 3rd levels of the defense, loosen up a defense that's really coming down hard on the run game and the short passing game.
Well, the statistics in the first half will tell you there was not a lot of offense in this football game. 117 yards in total offense. The South Carolina 37 through the air, and the quarterback is going to be Newton. I'm kind of surprised by that because Pinkins had played pretty well in that first half, but Pinkins will start the second half. That was Mark Anderson with a tackle. Here's the stats we were talking about. 3rd down conversions. Look at that. Combined 1 of 13.
You got to look at the penalties for Alabama. 6 for 59 yards, and several of them coming in really critical situations. Not a single penalty called against South Carolina. An extremely disciplined performance so far by the Gamecocks.
Mark Anderson with that play, a loss of 3. The junior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Here's a play action. Back to throw now is Pinkins. He gets it off to the near side, and the catch is made by Dacus Turman. He's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 48-yard line as Turman, who broke Herschel Walker's single-season rushing record in high school, made the catch.
That's a nice job coming down to your back. He had Thomas on a post corner route. And look at the comparison. Those are pretty ugly numbers. 3 for 9 in the first half. With a pass on that last play, but not very attractive play in the passing game by the Gamecocks.
I think you said it well, David. Ugly. 3rd down and 4. Here's Pinkins. He's going to keep it, and I don't know if he got the first down. He needed to get to the 47-yard line. Let's see where they give him his forward progress. That was Roman Harper on the stop. Lou Holtz measuring to see if they got it. They may have to bring the sticks out.
Alabama lined up in a double eagle of the old Bears defense, if you'll recall, with Buddy Ryan both at the Chicago Bears and then later with Philadelphia, where he called it the 46, but they put men over the center and both guards. South Carolina called the very best possible audible against the Bears defense, which is the option. The option's a nice answer for that covering both guards in the center. Let's see if it was successful.
Bill, when they cover both guards in the center, that's awfully tough on a center because he doesn't get any help from the guards.
He doesn't need any help from anybody. Sonny's always
spoken like a true son.
Sonny's always the toughest guy. Watch this now. You'll see the natural gap, and we'll stop it if we can. The natural gap in the defense is right here, and that's what Pinkins is going to exploit. And he pops through there. He doesn't pitch the ball because he sees he has enough of an opening in his judgment to make the first, and he was correct by about 2 inches.
First down now for the Gamecocks. They have it at the 47-yard line. 6-3, South Carolina, handoff to Boyd, and he is shut down. Corey Boyd, who was the team's freshman of the year last year. Amico Ryans, along with Todd Bates on the stop there for the Tide. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and still 10.
Well, it's very apparent that the Tide is using numbers up on the line of scrimmage. They want to bottle up this run game, and they feel confident that they're not going to be exploited with the passing game. They feel like they can play one-on-one on the outside, and against Williamson, keep a deep cushion against that talented, fast wide receiver on the perimeter.
Williamson has been shut out, which is very unusual. All the passes he's been catching. Here is now Newton giving up and bursting to the outside. Nice change of direction that time, and that'll be Boyd picking up 10 yards on the play, and looks like another first down.
Watch Boyd. Watch Corey Boyd run with the football. This tough guy out of New Jersey looks him up in the secondary. He's not trying to make anybody miss. He just punishes Anthony Madison there, lunging forward to make that first down. He's a real football player.
Very productive, isn't he?
Not only a physical runner, but he did a nice job with his agility, bouncing it to the outside.
First down now at the 36 of Alabama. Here is Newton on the option. And Newton to the 32-yard line. It'll be Anthony Bryant on the tackle.
Alabama's had success against the option by changing up the option reads and hitting the quarterback in the backfield. South Carolina's a team that runs a little option, so they don't have enough time to rep all the different cross charges. Joe Kynes needs to continue to mix it up so they can't just walk down the field running one option to the left and another to the right.
Lou Holtz mentioned earlier this week that was one change, that they're going to go with a little more option this year over the 2003 season.
Well, I tell you, the South Carolina team is #1 in the SEC in time of possession, and this is a pretty good drive right now. 2nd and 6. The pitch from Newton. Off it comes to Summers, and Summers is shut down. Boy, that play was really slow developing. Anthony Madison on the tackle.
Well, that's a nice play on the outside by Anthony Madison, recognizing the option and closing in the backfield.
South Carolina with a 6-3 lead with Bill Curry, David Norrie, and Alex Flanagan on Gary Bender. We're underway, 3rd quarter, 9:21 left to go. It's been a battle of defenses and a field goal. And South Carolina with one of their best drives of the night. Now will have the ball at the 35, 3rd down and 9. To throw, Savell Newton, and he has it intercepted. It's picked off by Madison. Anthony Madison, and he comes up with it to the 22-yard line. Madison with his 2nd interception of the season.
Plays in a row a brilliant open field tackle on a very poorly executed option play, and then a nice pick where he's sitting in the outside zone, and Savell Newton simply did not see him or thought he could throw it through him.
He tried to throw a bullet, and Madison instead interceded from the 22, first down. Here's Gillen now trying to capitalize. He's got Brotho sprinting out, throws up the field. He throws it right back to the other guy. And here they come. This is going to be Fred Bennett, the number 8, to the other side of the field. And all of a sudden, they give it back, and they have it at the 20-yard line.
Wow. You talk about back-to-back poor throwing decisions. First, Savell Newton loses track of an underneath defender. This time, Gillen's looking for his tight end, and he's got to pick up Bennett there. I mean, Bennett's just sitting underneath and jumping that route by the tight end.
Whoa, did Gillen get lambasted as he's trying to go up to make the play?
Well, oftentimes that's what happens as a quarterback. You make a poor throwing decision, and then you take a pop afterwards. That was a bad decision.
George Goss looked him up. That's what defensive linemen love to do.
From the 20-yard line, and able to wedge it forward is going to be the quarterback, Newton. Let's go back to this last pick that we just had a moment ago.
Well, Savell Newton is looking down the field on a post corner route, and he doesn't keep track of the underneath defender. He was looking to number 1 Noah Whiteside, who was out of the screen to the right. And you have got to pick up on your radar screen all the defenders out in the secondary. You have to feel them. You have to catch them with your vision. Poor decision by Newton.
And then Bennett came back and picked one up for South Carolina. Here is Newton trying to get wide. He's got the corner, and he'll go out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Tracked down on the near side by Charlie Pepper. Pepper able to catch up with him, but Newton, I thought, was interesting, guys. When he threw that interception, what Lou Holtz did, he was out there encouraging him.
He really doesn't have much choice. Somebody's got to start encouraging these quarterbacks and not being in their face, because what you don't want them to do is to freeze at the switch. So you put Newton back in the game and you run your option offense. That was supposed to be an off-tackle quarterback single wing, as you call it, David. Single wing play. Bounced outside and got the first down.
I think that's a great thing about Lou Holtz. Sometimes he disciplines you, and other times he knows when to give you a pat on the back.
First and goal now at the 8-yard line. Here's Newton, snap directly back. Newton in, touchdown, South Carolina. Eight-yard touchdown run. 12-3 lead.
Extremely well blocked by number 32, Dacus Turman, on the little fella, DeMarcus Walbert, number 44. Yeah, here we go. He's going to come. He's going to come. It's just simply Dacus Turman is going to lead up in here and block on the linebacker. They're going to get the corner because somebody miscontained Mr. Newton, and he just walked in the end zone.
And the point after is good, and so they started playing, get the ball up, and South Carolina capitalized on an interception and now lead at 13-3.
Ah, Paris. Love is in the air.
Love? Is that what you see?
What do you see?
I see commerce. I see industry. I see medicine. A second opinion from a continent away. I see mortgage approvals, video, audio, downloadable, on demand, 1 million wireless transactions. That's what I see.
You're such a romantic.
I know.
The on-demand world in Paris and everywhere with help from IBM.
I want to break free. I want to break free. Oh, I want to be free, baby. Oh, how I want to be free.
A big reason for me coming back was, obviously to come back and get a degree. I just thought about after football. And I want to be somewhere at a big office, at a skybox office, looking over the city, really sitting back and doing business. Education is the only thing that is guaranteed. It's the only thing. When you have a degree, no one can take that away from you. NCAA football, a lifetime of opportunity.
Savell Newton with the run of 8 yards has now given Carolina a 13-3 lead. The sophomore out of Wallace, South Carolina, after throwing in an interception. Then Gillen came back, gave it back to Carolina, and this time Newton was able to capitalize. Kickoff will be taken by Tyrone Prothro up to the 20, the 25, spins his way to the 28-yard line, and that's where the Tide will set it up.
Well, taking a look at that last touchdown, we're just going to go freeze it right here. The defenders for Alabama are playing the running back inside. And you pound away enough inside with the big running backs, you free up your quarterbacks on the perimeter, and that was a walk in the park.
Number 15, Matthew Thomas, locks up Ramsey Robinson, number 17, the corner, way back in the end zone, and there was no one home on the corner.
We have a change of quarterback for Alabama. Spencer Bennington has come in. Bennington coming in for Gillen. Gillen really struggling. A handoff to Hudson. Hudson out to the 35 and dropped there. Let's go now to Matt Weiner.
In Los Angeles, this is how the Dodgers clinched the NL West. 7 runs in the ninth, capped off by a grand slam from Steve Finley. They erase a 3-0 lead and win it on the grand slam. Meanwhile, the Giants now technically a half game back of the Astros, who lead the Rockies in the wild card race.
So Pennington comes in at quarterback, hands off again, and in 2 handoffs he gets 2 first downs. Pennington, a junior out of Fayette, Alabama. He was a backup to Brody Croyle last year. He started 1 game against Georgia, but was out in the spring because of an injured shoulder, and now with a chance to win this job.
We talked to Mike Shula earlier this week, and he said that Pennington has been throwing the ball very well in practice, and they would not hesitate to go with him, and they would not hesitate to utilize their full package.
First down on 2 carries. Pennington with his first pass. Throws it near side, is picked up, intercepted, and here they go the other way. It's going to be Tremaine Taylor, and he's going to take it to the 10, knocked out of bounds at the 8, and another interception. So Tyler able to return that one, and that is a return of 40 yards.
This out route was thrown by Pennington about 3 counts late. Working one-on-one outside, and watch the play. Simpson comes downfield, and Tyler, the cornerback, he's reading the quarterback's eyes all the way.
Very good protection. Pennington standing in there, never really sets his feet, David. He does that. He throws a wobbly ball, and it is behind the receiver, and he didn't throw it to the outcut.
You talk about throwing with poor timing. That ball came way late.
At the 9, first and goal. Tyler, they call him too tough, and he made too tough a play there. And up the middle goes Newton, and he has scored his 2nd touchdown here of the second half. That's another 8-yard run.
Now, folks, that's just unbelievable. 2 consecutive red zone trips for the South Carolina Gamecocks, not known for their power offense, and they walk in the end zone first off the right side with the loss of contain, and second right up the pipe, just knocking the Crimson Shirts back. I cannot tell you how surprised I am to see that.
I'm surprised to see some of the decisions and the throws that Alabama's making in their own end.
Point after attempt now to 6:31 mark. This has been a nightmare for Mike Shula and the Tide here in the 3rd quarter. Lou Holtz got to be excited. He's up 20-3, converting 2 interceptions into 2 8-yard touchdown runs. And an interception by Tyler.
Major League Baseball's Division Series begins Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
When Yamaha set out to build the world's ultimate off-road vehicle, it had to have the greatest ground clearance. Jack! Independent front and rear suspension.
Jack!
Toughness.
He's tough.
And of course, seating for 2. the all-new Rhino 660 four-wheel drive from Yamaha. It's a whole new breed of off-road vehicle.
Silver Premium Malt Beverages, 5% alcohol by volume. 4 flavors to share with friends and those about to be. Flavor your night.
Over here.
Curbside takeaway. Just one more thing to love about Outback. Just call up, pull up, and we'll bring it right to your car so you can enjoy the great taste of Outback anywhere. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
ESPN2's College Football Saturday Primetime. Brought to you by Yamaha. Makers of fine motorcycles and ATVs. Nobody's more in tune with motorsports than Yamaha.
We have a stunned Alabama crowd as all of a sudden his team is down 20-3. Prothro returning the kickoff, a very good return. Gets it out to the 35-yard line. Savell Newton has 2 touchdowns here in the third quarter.
This is just an example of big guys getting knocked around. Look at John Strickland, the center, just mauling, blocking back. Rudy Griffin walking him back so there's about a 6-foot hole. And David Norrie, you could have run through that with ease.
Well, when the Gamecocks pick up an extra blocker every time they run a planned run play with the quarterback, and Pinkins and Newton really starting to find some creases in this defense.
Well, you make a change at quarterback and you suffer the same fate. Boy, I tell you, you talk about bad timing. Pennington's got to come back now after throwing that interception. And they give up straight ahead, and that is going to be Darby, the backup tailback, gets it across the 35 to the 36. I'll tell you what, Alabama needs some success.
Well, we've raved about the coaching in this game, but Rick Minner, the defensive coordinator for the Gamecocks, deserves a big kudos so far. And they're coming off the edges now. They're coming like gangbusters. Rick knows he's got this Alabama team by the throat because the quarterbacks are going to be gun-shy. He's going to get after them. You can bet on him.
Coming over from the University of Cincinnati, he was 10 years the head coach of the Bearcats. 2nd and 9, and Darby bursts up the middle and gets across the 40 to the 43 and be about 3 yards short of the first down. Lambert with the tackle, and let's go to Matt.
Carry number 8, number 9, Auburn and Tennessee, and the Tigers have broken the seal early. Ronnie Brown right up the middle, punishing touchdown run. Vols have tacked on a field goal. It is a 7-3 game in Knoxville.
Tell you what, they've got some 1-2 puncher running back, don't they?
They do indeed.
3rd down and 3, and I don't need to tell you the Tide needs somehow to convert on this 3rd down. Johnston, the tight end, goes in motion. Pennington to throw, not well thrown, poorly thrown, in fact. Tight end Hudson, and this is a very, very unsettled crowd right now.
I think you got to go with Mark Gillen the rest of the way. He made a couple bad plays on interceptions, but I think watching both the quarterbacks on the field of play, he gives them the best chance to win. And you got to get back up on that horse and ride it. They're not going to win this football game. They're not going to come back from 17 points down unless they get the ball down the field in the passing game.
Bo Freeland to punt. He came in 2nd in the SEC. Noah Whiteside is back. Hit it very high. Whiteside drifting over, calls for the fair catch, and we're going to have interference. Made contact as the ball arrived at the 20-yard line. That was a 38-yard punt, a very effective punt. That was Marcel Stamps, who's a true freshman out of Brantley, Alabama, that made the contact.
And Bill, you know what Lou Holtz is thinking. That's 15 yards of field position.
We'll have to let him make the call here.
Kick catch, interference against the kicking team. Penalty's 15 yards from the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
Well, they're going to get
good field position, and that's been the story in the second half for South Carolina.
Last time on Dream Job.
Scared the living hell out of me. If you don't get better than that, you'll be home soon.
First to go was Casey, then Valerie. This week, one will be cut, and your vote counts. Dream Job at a new time, midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific, Tuesday on ESPN.
On the next, I'd Do Anything. It's a dangerous race to the end zone. Bring on the bees and soccer goals from 5,000 feet. I'd Do Anything. Tuesday at 10 p.m. on ESPN.
The ultimate red tag sale on now.
Only under the flag on Savannah Highway at Rick Hendricks Chevrolet.
Ultimate red tag.
Your next car, truck, van, or SUV is now red tag price at Rick Hendricks Chevrolet.
The ultimate red tag sale. Red tag savings, red tag prices.
It's an American revolution at Rick Hendricks Chevrolet.
Where can you go to get the best prices, dependability, and honesty in the Low Country on tires, brakes, alignments, and CV axles?
Low Country Mag & Tire in Goose Creek.
Where can you go for the best prices on all your complete engine and transmission replacement with the best warranty anywhere?
Low Country Mag & Tire in Goose Creek.
Where can you get the best prices in the Low Country on custom rims and exhaust work?
Low Country Mag & Tire in Goose Creek.
Where do you always get an estimate before any work is done?
Low Country Mag & Tire in Goose Creek.
Low Country Mag & Tire at 88 Westview Boulevard, right behind the Heritage Trust Credit Union in Goose Creek.
It's all South Carolina in the second half. They lead it 20-3. The last time they met was 2001, September 29th, in Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina. Phil Petty with a 7-yard touchdown pass to Ron Trafford with 2:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the final score, the Gamecocks, 37, the Tide, 36.
That's Skip Holtz there with his dad, Lou. Skip Holtz, now the quarterback coach, previously had been coordinator, then Lou took that over this year, and he says, if this thing's going to fly, I'm going to make it fly myself. There's Skip upstairs. Holtz family, a wonderful family. Beth, mom.
Chauncey Gray is coming at running back. He's got the football, and Gray's going to come across the 35 to the 37. The average starting field position in the 42-yard line area in the second half for South Carolina. That's been big. You can see the play selection. Lou Holtz right now has got this game going the direction he wants.
He does, and the wind has gone out of the sails of the Alabama team. You see a different level of intensity from both squads now. Alabama seemed in control until we got into the third quarter, and now it has flipped.
After the snap, we'll update you on the injury situation on freshman Keith Brown. As Newton gives up and they chug forward for a couple of yards, we have been told that the x-rays on Keith Brown, and this is very good news, were negative. So that's the most encouraging thing you can hear right now, and boy, we just wish him the very, very best. And you know how much that may have taken out of this Alabama team, because their wheels have come off right now.
You just stand with one of your teammates down like this, and you watch him hit his face like that, and you wonder what in the world's going on. And it really does affect you, and especially the young players. So glad he's okay.
You take football so seriously, but it's things like that to remind you it's a game.
Boy, David, we say that, and it's really true. I mean, look at this, a trips formation for Lou Holtz on a 3rd and 3 to the near side, and then they just have the quarterback try to take it up the middle, so they spread everybody out.
When Lou lines up in trips, that's to get 3 tackles away from the running game now without having to block them. That's what trips is to Lou. And he ran the ball, which is exactly what he ought to be doing. He'll punt the ball and play field position now, and he'll do that the rest of the night if necessary. And he won't give up a big play to Alabama if his defense works the way he and Rick Minter would want it to.
So the 67-year-old mentor in his 6th year at South Carolina right now in the driver's seat. And here comes the punt to Brandon Brooks. He fumbled it. The ball is loose at the 15, but Alabama gets it back. Wow. And it just seems like now that Alabama is just fighting to get some poise. That's a 44-yard punt.
Hey, Brody. People, are you ready? Let's start the show. Let's start the show. right, feel it more, baby. Make sure I'm at every single, and I think on that topic we gon' hit agreement. Dance on the part, ready to dance, no matter when or where.
It doesn't take a degree in engineering to know that your car needs regular oil and filter changes. That's why we're ready in advance with brand names you trust. Castrol, Valvoline, Pennzoil, all in stock at ready-to-go low prices. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and brass, ready in advance.
Now open until 9 p.m. on Sundays.
So 7th inning stretch. Game tied at 6. Back after this.
Good afternoon. How can I help you?
I have a question about my account. I also have some checks to deposit.
No problem. I can help you with both of those.
Really?
What's your question?
Can I transfer?
At Bank of America, our managers are there for you,
All done.
offering solutions
Thank you.
to make your banking easier.
We're back here in the bottom of the 7th, and the first pitch.
Bank of America, higher standards.
Alabama has the football to 15. Pennington remains in at quarterback. He gives off straight ahead as they is trying to get something put together here offensively. Out to the 20-yard line comes the big fullback, LaRon McClain.
Bill, you know something about the pressure you face as a head coach here at Alabama, and Mike Shula desperately trying to get some play out of Grant and some young quarterbacks. And the interception that Gillen threw in the first half, that's an acceptable play. He didn't pick up Simpson, but the last 2 interceptions, Mike Shula has to be watching that on the sidelines and saying, I haven't seen that from my kids on the practice field.
No. Pennington gives off a dart. It's just straightened up and slammed down. A big tackle by Mo Thompson. Boy, what a stop. Let's go to Matt Weiner.
All right, Gary, Boise State has won 21 straight on their unusual home field. SMU in Idaho tonight. Jared Zabransky picked off by Alvin Nabwifwe. He goes 48 yards. Mustangs up early.
How about SMU? They broke, what, a 15-game losing streak, and now they think they can win some games.
Oh, yeah. They get dangerous.
They pull off that one. Wow.
4 wideouts now. Pennington in a lot of hurt. Ball fumbled. I think Alabama got it. Falling back on the ball very alertly that time was Ray Hudson. As Hurley and Wilson, the 2 outside linebackers, met at number 13.
All 3 downs now. Alabama's facing essentially a gap 8. These are 2 wide tackle 6 defensive ends coming off the outside. Ricardo Hurley and Roderick Wilson. Just like the old wide tackle 6, and you don't have enough blockers. You can't block them in the run. You can't block them in the throwing game.
So now to punt away will be Freeland out of Utah, Alabama. Doesn't hit it all that well. In fact, it's a very poor punt. Does take an Alabama bounce. Marcel Stamps is down there to ground it, and they're going to have the ball still good field position at the Alabama end of the field. A 38-yard punt. So following our game here on ESPN2, the 6th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes that just keep finding a way to win. Open their Big Ten schedule as they will take on the Northwestern Wildcats. As Brett Cassidy, the quarterback for Northwestern, will be trying to stand up in that outstanding defense that Ohio State will throw at you. College football Saturday primetime at 9 Eastern on ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Buckeyes undefeated. Northwestern picking up a victory against Kansas earlier this year. They're 1-3.
If you see another pass from a guy in a white shirt tonight, it's going to be thrown to somebody behind the line of scrimmage.
And I promise you, Lou Holtz will come out and get him by the throat, wouldn't they? Here comes Newton. Newton up close to the 40-yard line. The thing you're wondering about right now is whether Newton is going to be their starting quarterback. He has really asserted himself here in the 3rd quarter.
He is a playmaker. He doesn't throw as well as Seneca Wallace, but he makes things happen. He has run in the end zone twice.
Lou Holtz, when he gets in this situation up 17 points, he just squeezes the life out of you with his play calling, working on the clock, and he's doing a pretty good job of it right now.
And he's got it now through 3 quarters as we come to the end of this 3rd quarter. Very good thought, David. I mean, Lou Holtz, he's looking up and saying, hey, guys, we don't have to get fancy. We're just going to be very conservative and take this baby back to Columbia.
Well, they are knocking them around. Their offensive line is taking over.
So Holtz and company up. 20-3.
The WNBA playoffs, now playing on ESPN2.
Excuse me. Ah! What are you doing? I noticed you were working late, so I brought you a hamburger. Actually, it's a Wendy's classic double with cheese combo made fresh, with extra pickles the way you like it.
You brought this for me?
Yeah, it's a beauty.
Why are you doing this?
Since Wendy's pickup window is open until midnight or later, you can eat great even late.
Wow, that was a knockout.
Good. Well, there's another light on up there. See ya.
I'm okay.
It's a new season, but the dream remains. As this year's finalists face off, see who makes it to the next round and who is set packing. What does it take to make their SportsCenter dream come true? ESPN's Dream Job, every Tuesday at 12 midnight, 9 Pacific.
Get a wireless laptop with technology designed for lightweight. Make sure it has Intel Centrino mobile technology built in.
For a limited time, get our best deal ever. 1,000 nationwide anytime minutes for just $39.99. Plus rollover, only from Singular. You can look around all you want. You won't find a better deal anywhere. But this deal won't be around forever, so don't look too long. Now get this new Motorola camera phone for just $49.99 after rebate. But hurry, this offer ends soon. 1,000 nationwide anytime minutes with rollover, only from Singular Wireless.
Get a wireless laptop with technology designed for lightweight. Make sure it has Intel Centrino mobile technology built in.
Cold hard fact. Other beers are heat pasteurized at 140 degrees. Coors Light is always frost brewed at an icy 34. Why? Because we know you love cold beer. Coors Light. Our goal, the coldest tasting beer in the world.
Well, the South Carolina faithful are having a good time at the expense of Alabama. We have 15 minutes left to go. South Carolina with the football, second down, 5 in the third quarter. Alabama had only 21 yards in offense. They just kept throwing the ball to the guys in the wrong jersey. Here's Demetrius Summers, and he skips to the 35-yard line, and boy, very quickly was able to pick up, it looks like, another first down.
Well, they're sure moving them around up front. The Gamecocks on the offensive front are starting to create some seams.
I'm telling you, I came out here raving about the Alabama offensive line, and I thought they would dominate the game, but it's the guys, Jabari Levy, Chris White, John Strickland, Jonathan Alston, and Deshaun Goddard, along with Brian Brownlee, the South Carolina front people that have taken over this football game.
Well, you know, Lou Holtz told us this week we got to get better play out of the offensive line. Well, he's gotten that and then some. I mean, that is a big development in this ball game. Here's a handoff again to Summers. Summers going to be shut down at the 32-yard line. Good tackle that time by Pepper. So here is our Yamaha game track. It started with this 35-yard interception by Coach Simpson, the true freshman who has just been sensational and has set up 2 touchdowns by Seville as Newton takes it in, both of them from 8 yards out as they capitalized on the interceptions and it bumped it up to a 20-3 lead. And right now, they're doing exactly what Lou Holtz wants them to do, keep the football. 13:43 left to go in this one. And here is Newton now keeping, doing nothing in any way that would not be in a conservative bent right now. So with 13:30 to go, welcome to Bryant-Denny Stadium, a stunned stadium here, a home crowd of Alabama finding their folks down 20-3. Bill Curry, David Norrie, Alex Flanagan, Gary Bender. It's been Alabama's ineptness throwing the football, throwing it to South Carolina time and again that has really turned this football game around. 3rd down and 4 now for the Gamecocks. Alabama came in here trying to win their 4th straight at home, and they are really going to have to get something going in a hurry.
South Carolina.
And so USC has called timeout, and some of the Alabama faithful have decided they want to do something else. 13 minutes left to go.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough. Fullness from a value menu.
He was fine, and then he just stopped eating.
This man is completely full. What was he eating?
A spicy chicken burrito.
He kept going, sound. Are you sure? And fullness off a value menu?
It's the new Big Bell Value Menu. Featuring the spicy chicken burrito with shredded chicken simmered in authentic Mexican spices. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be landing shortly. For those of you connecting, we have some information for you. If you're going on to Atlanta, you'll be at gate A9, Buenos Aires, A17. Back from a long night out with the entire Tokyo office, capped off by a karaoke rendition of I Am Woman that certainly no one will forget, and still pulling off that 7-figure deal the next morning without a hitch, you're at gate C21, Denver, C10.
We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
Remember that guy who used to be called Wild Thing? The guy who wanted to spend the entire honeymoon indoors? Remember the one who couldn't resist a little mischief? Yeah, that guy. He's back. Viagra. Not all medications are for everyone. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Well, you know what? One of the things I found out is my partners here, it's the first time I've worked with them, love to eat. And we're going to show you what I'm talking about, the Dreamland Ribs. Now, I want to tell you something. I don't know how much you guys ate poundage-wise, but you should be embarrassed. I mean, you have... Well, even our cameraman's eating that.
That's Dwayne. Dwayne Crump would eat a rib in a heartbeat.
Well, you should talk. 3rd down and 4 now. Here is Newton on the keeper. He's got to get the first down and then some to the 20-yard line. Now, I am very upset because I did get some the other night, but I came up to the booth tonight expecting to get to eat some more. You guys had taken all of them. In fact, you ate the first batch. You didn't know they were props for the game. You'd already eaten them.
Gary, you know what we used to do with the big offensive linemen like Bill Curry? We used to double bib them. We'd give them double bibs, a bib in front and a bib in back.
Big offensive lineman like Bill Curry.
What'd you weigh, 240 pounds when you played?
It's so good to make your tongue slap your brains out trying to get at it.
I've heard more expressions from the South this weekend. What's that, butter slipping off of a roll? One that we heard earlier?
If Golick were here, we could describe him.
Here is Summers. Gets inside the 20.
Golick's butter has done slipped off his butt.
Oh, that's what it was. That was close. All right, let's go to Matt Weiner. Matt, you better get us out of trouble.
I don't know if I can match it. I have no ribs. I have merely highlights. Auburn and Tennessee, they swapped turnovers in this game in a matter of about a minute, and Auburn benefits. Jason Campbell to Ben Obamato. It's a 14-3 game as the second quarter begins.
Boy, what a big game that is. Auburn and Tennessee down in Neyland Stadium on the Tennessee River. Second down now. 8 yards to go for South Carolina. Fumble by Summers. The ball is loose, and I think Alabama's got it. Todd Bates came up with it, so that gives the Tide hope.
Oh, that gives them plenty of hope here.
That's the one way South Carolina can lose this football game, and Lou Holtz knows it better than anybody in the world. You put it on the ground. Football is a game of ball security,
very
field position, and physical domination.
Bill, that was sloppy work in the backfield between quarterback and tailback. You've got to secure the football, especially in the red zone. You have a 20-3 lead. You got 3 points for sure. And Lou Holtz, that drives him crazy, those types of errors.
So with 11:40 left, new life now for the Crimson Tide. And the quarterback is still going to be Pennington, being flushed out of the pocket. He's just going to have to throw it away.
David, he's just so hesitant. Well, he's just so hesitant to pull the trigger.
And I really thought that Gillen gave Alabama some real solid play when he was in the game. Granted, the last throw he made was a bad decision. It was an interception. But I thought he gave this team a chance in the passing game. To me, it was a bit of a quick hook, Bill.
You know, David, being a quarterback like you were, when you get a quick hook like that, boy,
to take sometimes a lot of success to ever overcome some of that.
Well, and the interception he threw in the first half, I thought it was not a bad play by him. He had one bad play, and I'm surprised that they're sticking with Pennington here the way that Gillen has played.
He is 0 for 3. You saw that graphic just a moment ago. There he completes his first pass. Maybe that'll get him started. Ezekiel Knight made the catch, and let's go to Alex.
Hey, Gary. Well, I spoke to Coach Mike Shula during the half, and he seemed to have some concern about his quarterback, Mark Gillen's confidence. He said during the half he told him, hey, you've got to believe in yourself. I want to remind you guys of our conversation yesterday with offensive coordinator Dave Rader. When I asked him under what circumstances would they play their third-string quarterback, Spencer Pennington, he said, you know, only if Gillen is hurt or can absolutely do nothing with the ball. Pennington not doing much either.
Yeah, you're right, Alex. That completion maybe will get him going now, as it's going to bring up 3rd down and still 6 yards to go after picking up 4 on the play. Here he is from the shotgun, being flushed out again, resetting, throwing to the near side, and he threw it to the wrong guys again. This is Bennett with his 2nd interception of the night.
Well, I'm speechless. The protection broke down. The young man is clearly overwhelmed. And David, he's just hesitant. I know I'm being repetitive, but he just has a hard time pulling the trigger, and the folks are flat out pouring out of the stadium now. I have never seen this in all the years of being at games here at Alabama as a competitor for or against Alabama.
As a young quarterback, you're in a game, and a meaningful game, a big SEC game like this one, sometimes you're not able to make sense of things down the field. You don't see things clearly, and as you said, Bill, you're hesitant, but Pennington, I don't think is quite ready. I don't think he got the reps that Gillen got this week, and he's paying for it.
4 interceptions tonight. Well, you saw that look of Mike Shula. Looked like a deer in headlights. He cannot believe what he's seen. And, of course, being a former quarterback for the Tide and a quarterback coach, he's probably searching his brain trying to figure out how to get out of this. Let's go to Matt Wider.
All right, Gary, let's check in once again on Boise State. Antoine Carter from 2 yards out. The Broncos tied up. They're back on top now, 14-7. Coming up when you're completed in Tuscaloosa, Brett Basney, sore shoulder. He's got bigger problems with Ohio State coming up. That's right after you guys.
So we come back. There's Basney, the Northwestern quarterback. And I'll tell you what, that Boise State team, Dan Hawkins just does a great job coaching that team. He just reloads. Here now is Boyd. And Boyd spinning forward, picking up pretty good yardage. Corey Boyd able to move it inside the 20-yard line. Now, Brody Croyle is the reason that the Tide had to make a change a week ago as he had an ACL injury, and he's got Pennington that he's trying to console. I don't even know what you can say to guys right now.
Well, there's not much you can say except just got to get yourself together and go through your progressions. Okay, you read your progressions and make the throw to the open guy. And that sounds so simplistic, but he's just seeing a blur out there right now. That's clear.
Well, I tell you, the people here at Alabama are not used to these kind of football games. You think of all the success they've had, 17 national championships, as Boyd is very close to a first down as he is able to get to the 15-yard line and get stopped there by Chris Harris.
Well, we talked about the fact that South Carolina was lining up in a gap 8. Well, so is Alabama. And they're coming off the corners, and they're hitting every gap, and they're still getting knocked back and being dragged.
This Alabama defense, as an offense, you got to give them a feeling that you're going to be able to move the ball. I think the wind has been totally taken out of this Alabama defense in the second half. They don't feel like their offense can move the football.
But you still go out there and tackle. It's 2nd and 1. It's 2nd and 1.
They're getting worn down, Bill. They've been out on the field for a long time here in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Now remember this, South Carolina has never won here in Tuscaloosa. It's hard to believe, but they're 0-7. There's a handoff to Boyd, shut down this time. Let's look at Lou Holtz. We talked about the old master, what he has done through the years. You can see 3 wins. He started out losing all these games, then he put together 17 wins, back-to-back, won 2 bowl games in 2000 and 2001, and then won 5-7 the last
and
year.
You know who those bowl games were against. Both of them were Ohio State. One of them a great win when Ohio State made a big run and came back on them. Coach Hope says this is the kind of game in which he excels.
They have a guy shaken up. It's Jeremy Clark for Alabama, the defensive tackle, who is being assisted off the field, a sophomore who kind of the glue they were telling us about of the defensive line. So Lou Holtz now has a 3rd down and still 3 yards to go. Line of scrimmage, the 17-yard line. Gonzie Gray is the tailback on this particular play. Newton's going to pitch to him, and Gray is going to get the 1st down. So they'll be inside the 15 as a tackle made by Cornelius Morton.
Gary, you mentioned at the top, Lou Holtz taken 6 teams to bowl games, and what amazes me, each one of those teams, he did it within the first 2 years. And so much history and tradition down here in Tuscaloosa, as Coach Curry knows. Who was the coach against Bear Bryant in the Sugar Bowl, the last national title, the 7th that Bear Bryant won? Lou Holtz.
That's right.
Coach Bryant told him after the game, that's one of the best games my team has ever played. And Lou said, well, I'm sure glad I got to see it.
They got beat 24-9 in that game as they went 12-0 that year and beat the Razorbacks and Lou Holtz. And here's a handoff, and they just keep pounding away. This is Gonzie Gray. He's the 3rd active winningest coach behind Paterno and Bowden. And he's won a national championship. We mentioned the 6 different teams to bowls. He won a Heisman with Tim Brown when he was coaching at Notre Dame. I mean, he's had some amazing success.
Boy, he doesn't back off the accelerator coaching even with the 17-point lead, does he?
No, I think he coaches harder. I'm serious in these instances because he knows if he just keeps the hammer down and can keep his team moving like they are, this is going to be his.
2nd down and 3 now. They can get a 1st and goal just outside the 2-yard line. And Newton's done a nice job engineering all this. Very conservative. He gives off Gonzie Gray, and the ball comes out. It's picked up, and running the other way is Rudy Griffin. Griffin, who was a former player at the Citadel. What a big play for him, and that is a return of 23 yards on that play, and Holtz cannot believe it.
I'm going to say this again. The only way South Carolina can lose this football game is if the backs just keep dropping it on the ground. 2 series in a row, it looked like they're going to go in and score, and instead they put it on the ground and they put Alabama right back in it with a chance to get back in this game.
And football, you are always finding ways to come back, and a 17-point lead may look unsurmountable. But I'll tell you what, you come out and you put some passes together, you're still in this football game, even with 6:29 to go.
Well, they had a fumble recovery by Bates. They couldn't get anything done. They turned right around and threw the interception. Now they get the fumble recovery by Griffin. Can they do anything with it? A give to Hudson. And Hudson gets across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
That's a strange play call there. That's a play call. Lou Holtz is fit to be tied on the sideline, I'm telling you.
Well, Luke, one time they put a pedometer on him during a game, and he did something like 6.8 miles or 12 miles. But he is constantly, he gets a great workout during the game. That's why he's so lean.
Next thing you'll do is figure out how many calories he burned up. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 now. As Pennington will give off again to Hudson. And Hudson, who we figured would be such a big factor, gets some yardage. And let's go now to Matt Weiner.
All right, there's San Diego State and UCLA tonight. This is Matt Dugalecki for the Aztecs, and that's not his guy. Spencer Havner will take it 50 yards the other way, and the men in powder blue have taken a 17-3 lead headed to halftime.
Oh, listen, do you think David isn't excited? He just saw that return by UCLA. Hold on to him. Here's a handoff to Castile on a 3rd down, and they're not going to get it, and they're now 0 for 11 on 3rd down.
Gary, 3 run plays in a row. To me, that's a white flag. I mean, 6:29 to go, and granted, they've had no success, but you're down by 17 points. Anything can happen in a football game. We've seen a lot stranger things happen. 3 straight run calls. I think Mike Shula is saying, I've had enough.
Well, you got 3 scores to win the football game, and you're running it. You got to go for it here, and you have to make this.
0 for 11 on 3rd down, so they go for it now on 4th and 1.
You can't be making any play calls that are going to burn clock, and that's what they're doing.
Double tight ends. Pennington wants to throw. And
he threw that ball. A lot of people in the area. There was really nobody open. He tried to hit Clinton Johnston, the tight end, and so South Carolina will take over the football.
Well, it's a terrible feeling for Mike Shula, and every head coach has been through games like this where it just seems like everything that you try to do goes awry. And you just got a very difficult time to pull your team back together, especially in this situation. And here are some of the mistakes we saw.
4 interceptions. Simpson came up with 1, and Bennett, and it was Tyler. And then eventually Bennett came back and got his second of the ball game.
What's really tough for Mike Shula is I thought that he was getting some very solid play from the quarterback position, and then as the third quarter started to wind down, it just went downhill for him, and I mean it went downhill in a real steep fashion.
Well, you can see the combined numbers of Gillen along with Blake Mitchell now as the quarterback, so the third quarterback of the night for South Carolina. So Mitchell in, and we want to remind you, stay with us. Ohio State, Northwestern coming up next. There's the guy we just mentioned, Mitchell. And this, I've been in a lot of games and been surprised, but I don't think I've been any more surprised by a football game than I have been tonight. I mean, if this was on the road, that would be one thing. But to come in here like South Carolina has at Bryant-Denny Stadium, a place where you just don't win very often, it's been a long night for the Tide.
Well, I have to go back to my scouting report from my old buddy Alex Hawkins, Captain Who from the Baltimore Colts. And he told me after the Vanderbilt game that South Carolina had a terrific offensive line. And after I saw him against Georgia, I did not agree with him, but he was right. And they've come a long way since that Georgia game, especially at the guard position. Chris White and Jonathan Austin have done themselves proud. And so, Hawk, there you go, buddy. You were just a little bit early with your prediction, but these guys have taken charge of this game.
Gary, and you made a great point at breakfast this morning. The couple winnable games here in the upcoming weeks for South Carolina.
Yep, and they'll position themselves very well. They play Ole Miss at home and then go to Kentucky. Again, Ohio State will open their Big Ten schedule against Bassinet and the Northwestern Wildcats. College football Saturday, prime time at 9 Eastern on ESPN to Jim Tressel's Ohio State Buckeyes. They just find ways to win.
Yeah, Jim's got a thing about that, doesn't he? But you know, Alabama's got 3 timeouts left. They need to be using them right now. They need to be stopping this clock, if for no other reason, to say to the squad, we never give up. We just keep fighting.
Bill, running 3 times on that last possession, I think they've already said, hey, we're working on next week.
You still got to use every resource.
You know what's amazing, though, as you watch this play again develop up the middle, it's going to be Turman. And they went 3 straight running plays, then on 4th and 1, they tried to throw the ball.
That's very curious play calling. If you're going to throw on 4th down, you might as well be throwing on the prior 3 downs.
Well, I can tell you from being in this environment particularly, and then in several other environments, that Dave Rader, the offensive coordinator, is going to come under some intense scrutiny about all of those issues, the quarterback play, the quarterback substitutions, and of course the head coach is ultimately responsible, but Dave Rader is going to have some questions to answer as well from this Alabama following.
So the clock now down to 2 minutes. It's going to be 3rd down and 3, and they're just keep hammering away. This time it's Corey Boyd right up the middle. There's Dave Rader, who was a head coach at Tulsa for some time. Very articulate guy. Got out of coaching for a while. Came back in, and you know, I guess the question I have of both of you guys is, how do you rehabilitate the confidence of these 2 quarterbacks? What are you going to do?
Well, I think that Pennington's going to need some real work on the practice field. He made some plays out here that really I think Mike Shula hasn't seen from him on a practice field, and I still think that Gillen has some confidence and some talent level to finish off the SEC season.
Look at South Carolina here, Bill, going for it.
This is the right call. It's the right call to go for it, even if they hadn't made it. You leave Alabama on their 18. Let's say you get stoned. So Alabama starts on their 18. What, you think they're going to make 3 scoring drives? Not a chance. So you run the ball because you've been knocking them in the dirt anyhow, and you go ahead and make the 1st down. And now if Coach Holtz wants to, he can take a knee and run this clock out.
Now he can. Holtz will win his 31st game at South Carolina against 33 losses. He was lauded as the savior of South Carolina football. He had that winless first season, came back in 2000 and 2001, most successful 2-year run in Gamecock history. And then
has had a tough time getting it back around, but this may be his return to a very successful season. As they're going to go to a knee now with the clock running.
But we asked him about that, Gary, and he said this generation of young people just requires more perseverance. You have to stay next to them. You have to remind them constantly. They had the best grade point average last spring in the history of Carolina football, 2.59 cumulative. So they started doing everything right. He said the first person that had to change was me. I had to get back into the details.
And you look back on the Georgia game, they led that game 16-0. This team could easily be undefeated going into next week.
Kurt McCallie in charge of the stats. Ken Trevor, our stage manager. Kim Anderson, our spotter. Josh Hoffman, our producer. And John McDonough, our director. Thanks, guys. It's a very surprising end to this. As now, let's go to Alex with Coach Lou Holtz.
Turn Coach Holtz around here. Coach, this is the first time that this team has won at Tuscaloosa. How different was this game from what you expected it to be?
Well, I didn't expect to fumble inside the 15 so many times. It was a great effort by our defense. Offensively, we made some adjustments, came out to run the football, had some success, got good field position. We just wanted to win and get out of here.
You continued rotating the quarterbacks. What do you do going forward?
We went with Savell the second half because Dondrell hurt his shoulder. Then Savell tweaked his ankle a little bit, so thank goodness we had 3.
What's the biggest thing you learned about your team tonight?
We'll compete. We'll make mistakes, but we'll compete. They're a wonderful group, and God's blessed us.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, very, very successful. I feel bad for this guy, Brody Croyle, who, of course, could not play. But Lou Holtz, very, very interesting win. 20-3 the final. South Carolina 20, Alabama 3. Coming up next on ESPN2, Ohio State versus Northwestern. For wrap of this game, catch us on ESPN News in just a few minutes. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more on college football, log on to ESPN.com, the official home for college football on the internet. Along with Bill Curry, David Norian, Alex Flanagan, I'm Gary Bender. So long from Tuscaloosa. Now, let's go to the studio.